streaming live. Let's go!
At US Cellular, we heard you. You want a wireless plan that works for you. That's why we're giving you unlimited data for just $30 on a network ranked #1 in network quality performance. All that and no hidden fees. That's the best value in wireless. That work for you? US Cellular. Choose fair.
For the best deals in wireless on a network that works in the middle of anywhere, visit Siskiyou Cellular, your local US Cellular agent. 7 locations, including Central Point off Plaza Boulevard.
Doctors James Savage and Rajiv Rajagopal are happy to welcome Dr. Brian Clevenger to the Associates for Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery. Their offices in Medford, Grants Pass, and Klamath Falls practice a full scope of services, from corrective jaw surgery to wisdom teeth removal and much more. For more information or to schedule your complimentary dental implant consultation, call 541-779-3781.
Circle K is your on-the-go tailgate headquarters. Whether it's a home game or a road game, when you need a big play, call on My Circle K. From their always fresh premium brewed coffee, ice-cold fountain drinks and sodas, fresh made-for-travel deli items. When it comes to special teams, nothing is more special than My Circle K's Kickback Reward program. Rewards every purchase, every time. Find them, follow them, throw a tailgate party with them. MyCircleK.com.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Hello and welcome, sports fans, to this live video streaming event of Table Rock Sports Productions. I am Boomer Marshall. I'll be on the call tonight alongside Caleb Franklin on the video. Doing the color commentary with me tonight is Dan Marshall, my dad. You guys know him best as Chief. Welcome to the Lithia Superstore Game of the Week, powered by US Cellular at Siskiyou. Tonight's matchup features the visiting Canby Cougars out of Canby, Oregon, taking on your South Medford Panthers here at beautiful Spiegelberg Stadium. We're pleased to bring you this game from TableRockSports.net in partnership with the Medford School District and our participating community business partners. Be sure to download the new version of our free app. Watch all Table Rock Sport Network events on your phone, tablet, PC, or anywhere you connect for free. We also invite fans to check out all the features on TableRockSports.net, where you can find Southern Oregon Sports Spotlight, Athlete of the Week, Pick'em contests, and blogs from our broadcast teams. When we come back to our pregame show, we will have a stats and summary from the Panthers' first game, a preview of tonight's matchup, as well as a little chat with head coach Bill Singler and what we like to call Coach's Corner. Don't go anywhere, folks. When we come back, more pregame show coming your way.
Let's go!
At US Cellular, we heard you. You want a wireless plan that works for you. That's why we're giving you unlimited data for just $30 on a network ranked #1 in network quality performance. All that and no hidden fees. That's the best value in wireless. That work for you? US Cellular. Choose fair.
For the best deals in wireless on a network that works in the middle of anywhere, visit Siskiyou Cellular, your local US Cellular agent. 7 locations, including Central Point off Plaza Boulevard.
Doctors James Savage and Rajiv Rajagopal are happy to welcome Dr. Brian Clevenger to the Associates for Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery. Their offices in Medford, Grants Pass, and Klamath Falls practice a full scope of services, from corrective jaw surgery to wisdom teeth removal and much more. For more information or to schedule your complimentary dental implant consultation, call 541-779-3781.
For several weeks, the Southern Oregon Sports Commission has shown you examples of good sportsmanship and bad sportsmanship. Here's why. 75% of youth athletes quit sports by the age of 13 because they're not having fun. 75% of rookie referees also quit each year. Why? Well, it's because of the way they're treated by coaches and parents. We can do better. We must do better. Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
I'm Pat Cox with Sherm's Food Stores. The employees of Sherm's are proud to be part of your community.
We have thousands of customers in our stores every day, and our checkers know a lot of them on a first-name basis. They tend to enjoy what they do, and they love it, so it reflects in how they treat the customer.
If you live anywhere in Southern Oregon, there's a Sherm's store near you. We hope to see you soon.
If you shop with us, you will save money.
Welcome back live at Spiegelberg Stadium, where our pregame show continues. The Panthers off to a good start last week as they went on the road and got a 40-13 win over Centennial at Centennial High. The Panthers led just 7-6 at half, but came out and dominated in the second half, outscoring Centennial 33-7 in that second half. I'm going to go ahead and bring my dad in now, the Chief. Talk about thoughts from last week.
Well, you know, Boom, hey, first of all, it's great to be here. Friday night, first home game for South Medford. But talking a little bit about last week, it looked like we had a dogfight in our hands, a very even game. Two teams locked up in a scoreless first half or a very close first half. It was a tale of two halves, though. South took a 7-6 into the locker room after Centennial scored on the last play of the first half. And then we blocked the extra point. So we go in at 7-6. Looked like it was going to be a long night. It looked like it was going to be down in the last quarter, last play. But in the second half, South Medford special teams and defense, they took over. They set the tone by forcing 4 Centennial turnovers in a row, including a fumble recovery in the end zone and a scoop and score, and then gave our offense a couple great field positions opportunities to score as well. And at the end, when it was all said and done, it was 33-6 at the end of 3, and then at the end, we, like you said, Boom, we end up winning 40-13 and kind of going away and kind of a deceiving score after that first half.
Some great individual numbers for the Panthers last week. A new face, a guy that had never taken a varsity snap at the 6A level, a transfer from North Valley High School. The senior transfer, Torrin Tuttle, last week, 16 for 19, throwing the ball, 222 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. So go into a little bit about Torrin's night, Chief.
Well, I thought, the first thing I said, was offensive, defensive, special teams, and then whoever can execute and maintain the poise and, do the little things early in the season and non-league and a preseason game. And Tuttle was able to get him in and out of the huddle. And I thought he did a great job of, managing the plays and not trying to do too much. And, he got rid of the ball. And knowing Bill's offense over the years, he ran it perfectly. In fact, his numbers were so good. It was like, I don't know if you just gave him 16 for 19, 222 yards and 4 touchdowns. And opportunistic for the most part. If he had any weaknesses there, it was probably just the center snaps in the gun as well as the center snaps. But a great start for senior transfer from North Valley, and looks like he's going to be a welcome senior transfer.
Yeah, and Torrin Tuttle did, a great job, protecting the ball in the passing game, got the ball out, struggled a little bit on meshes, whether that was him or the running backs. As a quarterback, you take responsibility for that. So as far as throwing the ball is concerned, though, 16 for 19 in your debut for 222 and 4 touchdowns, that's completing the ball at 85%. I don't know if we've ever had a kid at South Medford that has had a debut like that. So awesome stuff for him, and gets another opportunity tonight to go out there and try to perform again. Austin Boster, no stranger to the Panther program, had a big night. The senior returning all-conference wide receiver, had 8 catches, 141 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Talked to Bill Singler a little bit about him, and we'll get to that in Coach's Corner about his performance. But, just a great job of running routes, yak yards after the catch. What did you see out there, Chief?
Well, I tell you, the first thing I seen is, listening to Coach Singler and Coach's Corner and talking to him a little bit, and knowing Austin since he's a little guy in the program and watching him play basketball, and now he's a senior, and he does all the little things right. For a little guy like that, he runs exact routes. He knows the system. He knows the program. He's a gamer. He catches the ball with 2 hands and high points it out in front of him, and he gets open. And he's a smart kid. The other night, we had a missed snap out of the shotgun, and Tuttle had to scramble to his left and come back to his right. Boster's savvy enough to see what happened and came open to the ball. So he not only has some great talent, and Coach Singler singing his praise, is one of the best skills kids in the state. I think he kind of proved that last night, and last season he had a great season, and last week he kind of showcased his talents. And I tell you what, and Bill's probably seen them all in 22 years at high school level, and he's calling him one of the best. So, and I believe him after last week's debut by Austin Boster up at Centennial. Had a great night.
The Panthers, with Mason DeVries out last week, kind of more of a running back by committee. The Panthers had 114 yards rushing. Zach Miller had 5 carries, ended up getting the most yards, but had a late 50-yard run. Jamal Parnell had 8 carries for 36 yards, so 4.5 per. Isaac Dillon had 6 carries, 26 yards. Austin Boster had 1 fly carry for 4 yards, and Tuttle was sacked too many times to register any yards. But running back by committee on that offensive side of the ball, lots of new faces, lots of different running styles. Tough to game plan defensively with that kind of running back by committee, Chief.
Yeah, and I don't know the status of DeVries, but I know he is a stud. We want to get him back out here. I know he's hurting a little bit, so might not see him until a little bit later on this season. But nevertheless, I thought that Isaac Dillon kid looked really good. He reminded me a lot of that Trent Snyder from a couple of years ago. He's a load, helmet down. And Jamal Parnell runs a lot like his brother in terms of moving forward, tough to put a hit on, and a crafty, smart, tough-nosed kid, hard-nosed kid. And I thought he did a great job. And like you said, Zach Miller had that big run late in the game to get the majority of his yards. But it's not the first time that South's done running back by committee, that's for sure. And so we're used to kind of doing that. We haven't had a featured back for, obviously we had Jalen, and we've had guys over the years, but we haven't always had a featured back. We've always had 3 or 4 guys that come out and do it. So looks like we're going to do it that way until Mason gets back.
And then lastly, let's talk about the Panthers' defense. James Dwayne just blew up about 4 or 5 plays. Justin Josephson, solid all night. The linebacking core, the DBs did a very nice job. They held Centennial to 235 yards of total offense. They turned them over. Where did that go? I think they turned them over 6 times.
Yeah, I know 4 in a row, at least 4 in a row. It seemed like 4 in a row. Might have been 2 or 3 in a row, and then a couple
on
stops.
downs.
Yeah.
So just a great performance by them. And if you only give up 13 points, you're going to have an excellent chance to win the game. Able to do that, continue to do that, because Chris Parnell, the defensive coordinator, heads things up on that side of the ball. But those kids played aggressively. They played fast. They're not the biggest guys in the world, but they'll come up and hit you, fly around, and that's Panther football.
Well, I just talked to Coach Parnell briefly before I come up in the box, and this is the first crew that I haven't really coached for a while at South Boom, so I didn't know a lot of these kids. And James Dwayne with the exclamation mark, man, that kid was flying around, and that's one thing South wants to do, and Coach Parnell said it. A lot of good things happen when you play hard and you make that commitment. You make that commitment to your defensive unit to play hard. He goes, we did some things wrong, but we played hard, and we went out there in the second half and took care of business. But James Dwayne was flying around, literally flying around, and then he had pressure on the quarterback from not only Dwayne but Justin Josephson, and that Krupp recovers a fumble in the end zone. I think Obviously, Boster's out there a little bit. Jamal made a couple of great plays on defense, some savvy plays. So they have a core of defensive players at O-line and D-line. That's where the magic starts, and I think a lot of times they get overlooked, but the O-line and certainly the D-line dominated Centennial last week in the second half.
Well, there's our stat summary of last week. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Coach's Corner with the head coach, the old ball coach, Bill Singler. His 22nd year, his 22nd home opener tonight. Coach's Corner is brought to you by Bill's Glass. Following that, we'll have a preview of tonight's game, and then we're going to play some football. So we're about 15, 16 minutes away from kickoff. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this quick word.
Dear Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports. I love my team. I just want to play, but not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
There's a time machine, not so far away, that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Hello, I'm Lennox Scott, Chairman and CEO of John O. Scott Real Estate. In 1931, my grandfather started John O. Scott Real Estate. I would like to take a moment to thank you for your trust in allowing us to serve your real estate needs. Helping you realize your home ownership dreams is why we do what we do. But one thing is clear, it takes place one client at a time, each individual buyer or seller, because at the end of the day, it comes down to you. The past few years have been an incredible time of growth for us. We now have over 110 offices and more than 3,000 broker associates in the states of Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and California. But our higher purpose is living life as a contribution.
Welcome back here. Had a chance to visit with head coach Bill Singler. These were his comments about last week and in tonight's ballgame. Here with head coach Bill Singler. Coach, first off, congratulations on the win last week. Talk to me about what you saw to your guys in that win up at Centennial.
Well, I thought we regrouped and we played with a lot of effort in the second half, and great to see our defense make some big plays, get some turnovers, and get the momentum back for us. And we certainly had a great third quarter, and we needed that on the road, and kind of offensively not taking care of the ball. So it was good to see us have a real good third quarter and take control of the game.
So tonight, Canby comes into town. It's the home opener. Obviously 1-0. They come in at 0-1. What do you tell your guys coming into this kind of game, being the home opener?
Well, it's another checkmark game for us. You always look to certain games, and your first home game is a key game. You want to get your season off to a good start in front of your fans, and so this is we got our first checkmark with our victory on the road. Now we need to get another one with a victory at home. So. But Canby's a little different than we were last year. They seem more energized. They're away from the wing tee, playing that spread stuff now, and from an odd front to an even front. So they're a little different ball club, and we haven't had a lot of time to prepare for them. But hey, we just got to come out and play some ball.
Talk about the senior Austin Boster a little bit last week. 8 catches, 141 yards, 3 touchdowns. I don't know if any receiver, and you've had some good ones, has had that kind of debut his senior year. Just a great effort overall. And talk about Austin a little bit.
Well, he's a good player. He's quick. He's fast, athletic. He can catch the ball, away from his body really well, and he can, and he's got good explosion. Being a track guy, and so, I'm sure they're going to worry about covering him today. So, we're going to have to spread the ball around a little bit more. But they allowed us last week to throw the ball to him, and he had a real nice game. I thought our quarterback, handled himself real well. Torrin Tuttle, his first game with us, and made some good decisions. Was smart with the ball and threw the ball very accurately.
All right, Coach, good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
Go get him. We owe these guys. That was head coach Bill Singler. Coach's Corner is brought to you by Bill's Glass, proud to be a sponsor of high school athletics. Bill's Glass has been the industry leader and clear choice in Southern Oregon for almost 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and GP. And that old jingle, when you hear that crash, think Bill's Glass. Love that one. As the fight song and the band is out on the field. Love that. Grew up in the shadows of Spiegelberg Stadium. And Friday nights were my favorite nights. Could hear that band going, and I knew it was time to go over to the Spieg Stadium and time to watch some football. So exciting stuff. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have a preview of tonight's matchup. Don't go anywhere.
For weeks, the Southern Oregon Sports Commission has shown you examples of good sportsmanship and bad sportsmanship. Here's why. 75% of youth athletes quit sports by the age of 13 because they're not having fun. 75% of rookie referees also quit each year. Why? Well, it's because of the way they're treated by coaches and parents. We can do better. We must do better. Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
I'm Pat Cox with Sherm's Food Stores. The employees of Sherm's are proud to be part of your community.
We have thousands of customers in our stores every day, and our checkers know a lot of them on a first name basis. They tend to enjoy what they do and they love it, so it reflects in how they treat the customer.
If you live anywhere in Southern Oregon, there's a Sherm's store near you. We hope to see you soon.
If you shop with us, you will save money.
And we're back here live at Spiegelberg Stadium, getting ready for the South Medford Panthers home opener, taking on the visiting Canby Cougars. I'm Boomer Marshall alongside the Chief, Dan Marshall, Caleb Franklin on the video. Excited to be here with you on TableRockSports.net. Talk to you a little bit about tonight's matchup. Canby comes in at 0-1. The Cougars lost a tough game at home last week against Lincoln High School out of Portland there, and Lincoln prevailed 26-22, but Lincoln is one of the better programs up there in the PIL. So Canby fought them tough as they were down 21-0 early, I think 20-0 early. Came back, made it a game, made it a one-score game with 5 minutes left, had the ball in the last couple of minutes, and just couldn't get over the hump and get the win. So South Medford not going to be able to sleep tonight on this Canby group, Chief.
No, I tell you, and I know, all the talk is about Canby in transition, team in transition, and they went 20 years, maybe at least 20. In fact, we seen him your senior year, Boom, and in the quarterfinals. Then he ran that wing tee, and they ran it, until last year. Maybe this is the first year. Now they're gone spread offense, and they got a returning quarterback that's a real deal kid, and they got this Ramos kid, running back and linebacker, that he's a beast. And Bill talked about their D-line, are very, very physical, and that South's going to have to, on the offensive line as well as the defensive line, going to have to get some surge. Going to have to play a little more physical than we did last week against Centennial. So I think it's going to be a little bit tougher matchup than it was last year. We got after them a little bit up there, but if you lose at Canby, that's a tough place to go up there and win. So Lincoln has a pretty good ball club, but for Canby to be down 3 touchdowns, come back and have an opportunity to win that 26, they lose 26-22, but that Ramos kid put them up with a go-ahead touchdown with less than a couple minutes, and they end up losing the ball game. But I think that gives them a little momentum coming into tonight.
The South Medford Panthers are energized. They're in the tunnel. The band is on the field. It's like James Duane is all set to lead them out. Here come the Panthers. Exciting stuff.
Coming out of the tunnel of Spiegelberg, that's what it's all about. And Bill had that team ready, this team ready last week, and they look like they're ready tonight for their home opener, Boom.
Exciting stuff. One thing that is a little bit different, Canby, like you talked about, 4 down linemen. Last week, Centennial was a 3 down lineman group. It can present some problems. As I talked to Damian Jackson, the offensive line coach, they're more of a 4-4 team. Like to bring pressure up the middle. So going to be tough to protect as their end guys are more contained guys, a little bit wider. Coach Singler might have something up his sleeve for that. But you just got to come out and play. Play the team that can play with the clearest head, make the fewest mistakes possible, gives themselves an opportunity to win. And Coach seemed confident, but like his kids were up for the challenge, but they're high school kids. You never know. A lot of inexperience still, and this is their first home opener. And exciting times, but got to be able to go out and kind of put that excitement away and play with a clear head and give yourself an opportunity to win. Another thing is Boster had 8 catches last week. The next closest receiver had 2. Isaac Dillon had 4 out of the backfield. So don't be surprised if Canby doesn't do something to try to negate that. Maybe roll some coverage to him. Bring a corner up in his face, maybe somebody over the top, maybe bring a linebacker out and play somebody over the top, make somebody else beat you. So, as Bill said, they got to kind of spread the ball out a little bit more maybe today.
Well, and that's a check mark like you talked about. You got the check mark and got your opening game on the road. That check, you got that one. Now our check mark home opener, but the second game, now people have film, and that's our challenge is come up with that second and third receiver to go to right now because you're definitely going to double and triple team Austin if we don't.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have some kickoff and high school football action coming your way. Don't go anywhere.
I was talking to Bill.
Yeah?
Bill and Sherry got a guy.
They do? How did they get a guy?
Everything happened online, including financing. And their guy even delivered their new car to their home.
Maybe we should get a guy.
I thought you might say that.
Honey, meet Kyle.
Find your guy during the Ram Power Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on lithiasuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 40 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland and Medford, and now Bill's Glass in Grants Pass.
And that is the national anthem, played tonight by the South Medford Band. And it's beautiful, beautiful rendition.
South Medford Band's got it rocking. I tell you, heard him practicing. They doing daily doubles, even triples over here this summer, Boom. So, like you said, when you hear the band, Boom, when he was 4 years old, was out there marching, getting ready to go to the field, wanted to play in the band. I said, no, I think you're going to play some football, Boom. But the South Medford Band got it rocking tonight. They look pretty good.
Canby here taking the field to the north end. And gonna get things started here in about 3 minutes. The things that you can control on the field when you're playing football is your effort and how hard you play, how smart you play. And you go out there and let it fly. Play within yourself, play smart, and play within the schemes and what the coaches have taught you to do and give yourself a chance to win here. Panthers 1-0 after a win last week on the road, but that means nothing now. Brand new game, brand new opportunity. Canby comes to town here as the sun's starting to set here on Spiegelberg Stadium, so we might be able to see by the time this thing gets kicked off. Last thoughts, Chief, before we get going here.
Well, Bill talked about it last week a little bit, and you touched on it briefly here, Boone. It's, early in the season, non-league games, preseason games, if you will. It's about attitude. It's about effort. And you want to take a look at the kids you want to play. So not only you want to have that check mark off the box that we win the home opener, but you also want to look at your kids' attitude, their effort, how hard they're playing, and if we got them ready to play. And so it's a full system evaluation time. You've been working hard all summer, and now we got our home opener here, and you want everything to come out here and get after it. And South, I can tell you just from their spirited pregame, they look ready to do that.
Lots of excitement here as we're getting set for the coin toss. Looks like Canby's won the toss, and they'll defer. South Medford will take the ball. So it's that Panther return game that we talked about last week. Austin Boster back. And things got going last week pretty well. They got out to the 40-yard line and had a nice drive. Weren't able to score, but got things started off on the right foot for the Panthers. So kickoff return coming up here. And
when I'm coaching, I always want the ball. I never did defer. I want that ball. And I think, a lot of coaches these days will defer so you have it in the second half and those kinds of things. But, I'm sure Bill wants to have that ball and make a statement on an opening drive, so he'll take it. And
always nice to play with a lead.
Yeah, let's go ahead and give him the ball and see what happens right away. I like that. If you defer, I don't know. If we win the toss, would you take the ball or kick it, Boom?
I would take it.
I would take it, too. So, played right into our hands, that's what I'm saying.
Well, we'll see. Lots of teams like to have their defense on the field to get things started, try to set the tone. I'm going to put up the John L. Scott scoreboard here. And we're getting ready for some Friday night football here. Home opener, South Medford Panthers at Spiegelberg Stadium. It's kicked. Boster will take it on a hop. And that will be into the end zone for a touchback. Kind of took
barely,
a funky hop there.
Yeah, Boster wanted to make that return.
Yeah.
And it looked like they had the wedge set up a little bit for him, too. That it would have been exciting to see him come out of there, but just got over the end line.
So Torrin Tuttle now will trot onto the field and lead this Panther attack. Break from the huddle. Isaac Dillon at running back. Carson Coda at tight end. So trips to the bottom of your screen here with the tight end, obviously. Here's a little power look inside. Dillon pushes forward for about 4. So good pickup on first down there by South Medford.
A good start there by the O-line and, getting some movement and moving Canby's D-line back. And one of the things we talked about earlier is their front four, they're physical, they're big dudes, and we got a little surge there offensively and got a good carry there by Dillon for 4 yards to start the ball game.
Jamal Parnell will now check into the game. We'll go trips here. Actual 3 receivers to the bottom. Austin Boster to the top of your screen. There's a little bubble look out here to Mitchell Walker. Good blocking out there by Coda. Wow. Flag is down.
Yeah, it
looked to be like a good block, like Carson Coda was on the inside, but and it will be holding, and it will come back. So 10 yards from that spot will bring up about 2nd and 13.
No, I thought it was a good block, too. It's right below us here, Boom. And just because you have that flag in your pocket, that doesn't mean you have to throw it. And it looked like a good block, and it was actually good execution there by the Panthers. And a little bubble off there, had a little block, and, would have been a first down. And unfortunately, get the bad call on us there. I think Coda had his helmet in front of him and everything. I don't know what he had. Had a holding, obviously.
Here comes a little motion from Boster, a little fly sweep action. They fake that. Parnell through the middle. And he's able to pick up about 7, so they get about half of it back. That'll bring up a 3rd and 5 opportunity.
Good job again there by the O-line and Parnell. We talked about him running a little bit like his brother Jalen there. You know, it's pretty tough to put a hit on him. You know, he's always got his momentum going forward, runs low pad level, and tough to get a hit. A good call there, and picked up half of it here. Key 3rd down here, start the ball game.
And we got the back out in the flat. It's Jamal Parnell, and he's got some space down the left sideline. Out past the 45, close to midfield. Torrin Tuttle throws a strike to Jamal Parnell for the Panthers' first down.
Good job again by Parnell, just finding that little opening out there, and a good read by Tuttle, checking the defense. You know, again, showing us what he showed last week. Eyes downfield, little poise, and Canby just didn't get that back coming out of the backfield, and Tuttle sees it, hits Parnell, and we talked about his savvy and his game toughness.
And here comes a little fly keep action as Tuttle keeps it around the right side. Just able to get back maybe to the line of scrimmage there as he was bounced wide.
Not much going there. Good job there by D-line and the Cougar defense there. It wasn't really a deception play, just to give me a look, and Tuttle trying to read that defensive end. Nothing going there, and Canby, good job on defense.
Isaac Dillon will check back into the game at running back. There's Coda over the middle.
And that's what I was looking at earlier, Boom. Coda had a big catch in the first half last week and ended up fumbling the ball. But right now with Boster, you got to go to Coda over the middle, find Coda on the seam like that, and look for Alvarez or somebody out of the backfield. And good job there with Tuttle.
That'll bring up a 3rd and 1 here. Tuttle will get the snap, bring it back. Isaac Dillon kind of bounces out to the left, and it's going to be close. I think he's got just enough. They're going to mark him short. Fourth and less than half a yard. The Panthers hurry up to the ball. And there's the quarterback sneak. Tuttle pushing. And that looks like that spot will be enough for a first down. And it is. And the Panthers will move the chains.
Good job there. I think they could have went just a little bit quicker there, Boom. They're kind of in a situation whether we're going to go for it or not, but a little bit quicker with the quarterback sneak there. The old days, we call that the tank, but hey, just enough to get the first down.
Boster with a tight split here. Here's a play action pass. Boster's working across the field. There's a ball thrown up. Alvarez able to go up and make the play. Down at about the 18-yard line. Good throw there by Torrin Tuttle. Is Alvarez, I don't know what kind of route he was running, but he was just kind of out there in no man's land.
Well, just a little play
Tuttle
action
found
there.
him.
Yeah, a little play action, and Tuttle out sprint to his right, and we said we got to find that other receiver, and Alvarez probably the guy, and looked like he just ran a little out or maybe a little short corner, cut off that corner route.
And there's the outside zone left. Dillon's got a crease. The Panthers had Canby outflanked there. Good call by Coach Singler. Being able to see that as Isaac Dillon's able to pick up about 6. And now the Panthers will hustle up with their tempo as
moving Walker out in the slot a little bit off the formation of Rick. And good job off that last one, that audible for the first down.
Here's a little inside zone look. Dillon cuts it back into nothing.
Or excuse me, that was not a first down that last time, Boom. It's 2nd and 4, and now we're going 3rd and
about 3. 3rd and 4, we'll call it. Got to get to the 8-yard line. They're at the 12.
We got Coach Singler just a couple doors down here from us, and coming up to the line and making changes, making that call down to Woody, and then getting it into Tuttle. We got numbers out here at Tripp's right, Boom.
Looks like they're playing man coverage. Here comes Boster in motion. There's a little peel play to Dillon, and now there's a flag on the play.
I think we have that first down, a little crossing route out of the backfield by Dillon, and
they're flagged down, so I think we're going backward.
Yeah, I think we may have had a crackback or
illegal block in the back on the Panthers.
I think they were fortunate to get that first down, and then not sure if it was Boster or who came up and made that crackback block right out. I mean, looked like Dillon had enough for the first down, and then late block in the back by South.
So it happened at about the 7-yard line, so they'll bring it back to about the 17. And they need to get to the 8, so that'll be about 3rd and 9 here. Boster, for the most part, has had one-on-one coverage out there.
Yeah, I was saying
see
earlier,
if Bill tries to utilize that here.
They're playing.
And here comes the safety over the top now. So they do have him doubled up. They're playing man to the top of the field. Tuttle will sprint that way. Alvarez on a comeback, and he throws it deep in the corner. Touchdown, Mitchell Walker. Looked like Tuttle had Alvarez on the comeback, but he let it go on the corner route. Touchdown, South Medford.
Well, you know, it looks like you said, they had a safety over the top, going to double up on Boster, so we sprint left and wanted Alvarez on the hitch or the out, and instead we get the corner, and a great throw by Tuttle, sprinting to his left and throwing back to the corner, you know, at the pylon. Touchdown, South.
On for the extra point. Snap's good, holds good, kick is up, and it is good. South Medford on the opening drive. You give them the ball, they're going to go score. Panthers take a 7-0 lead. Let's take a look at that replay. Here's Tuttle coming up to the line. As you can see, the safety at your bottom of your screen is they doubled up Boster at the bottom of the screen, so they have man-on-man up here. Tuttle sprints left. Walker runs to that back pylon. Tuttle able to throw it up and over for the touchdown. South Medford gets on the board. Good execution there on 3rd and 9. And Panthers able to strike first here in the first quarter.
Hey, great job, especially after the penalty, after getting the first down to Dillon, and then being able to recoup and recover and come back, and perfectly executed there by Tuttle, and good protection there by the O-line, and great job. Was that Walker at the pylon? So a great job, a great catch there in the end zone in that corner route. Great throw, great catch, and like we said, you know, give us the ball, we'll score.
Panthers will kick it off deep. That's a good kick there. Back into the end zone, and that will be a touchback. James Duane, down on the kickoff again.
Who's kicking?
He was ready to hit somebody.
Who's that kicker there for South Boone?
It's 28, and I don't have a number for 28.
I was just thinking, it was the old man's eyes. I couldn't. Got a number.
Don't have anybody in here either.
He kicked the ball. I don't know if it was last week. I mean, he didn't kick it in the end zone, but he had some tough one-hoppers at Centennial all night on the left side of that, on the left hash, and tonight kicks it in the end zone.
Penalty down here on the first play? There is, and it's a neutral zone infraction for the Panthers. 28 is Ryan Flores, junior kicker. So maybe a recent pickup by Bill. So defense gets penalized here on the first play. They go with 3 down linemen. Canby goes 4 wide out of the gun. There's a hitch to the top of your screen. Dwayne hustling. Panthers rally to the ball. Able to stop him short of a first down, but Canby picks up 4 on first down and will bring up 2nd and 1.
Andrew Peters, their senior quarterback, 6'2", 175, and it's kind of funny watching Canby out of the spread offense and out of the gun after seeing him for so many years in that wing T. But this guy's a real deal, I think, and probably a best offense that suits this quarterback.
There's a low snap. It's on the ground. Dwayne is hustling back. Peters able to get back on top of it, but not before a loss of about 14 yards. So Panthers catch a little bit of a break there. Canby able to recover, which is kind of a break in its own right. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 15 here from Canby's own 15-yard line.
Just reminds me of the old, I can hear that wing T coach right now. That's why we ran a wing T.
So 5 wide here on 3rd and 15.
.66.
Nick Varner, but the penalty goes against Canby. So that'll move him 5 yards back, further back, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 20 here
so it looked like,
for the Cougars.
It looked like South D jumped and came across the line of scrimmage, but actually got Canby to jump.
They go back here to 3rd and 20 here, 4 wide, running back in the backfield. Peters in the gun and the pistol. And this is a little screen look, and boom! Ball's out! Canby's able to get back on top of it just outside the goal line.
Big hit there, and
Canby looked like they wanted to run a screen, and Peters held on to it. And
I seen Ramos, number 44, kind of circling out backfield to the right, and I thought they were going to look left and come back to him, but South bringing the pressure and with the big hit in the end zone.
Now backed up. Usually you have 15 yards from snapper to punter, now only about 10 and a half. It's a good snap. He's able to get the ball off, but it's going to be right to Boster. He's got a lot of room. Boster breaks right. He's got a hole to the 20, inside the 20, and that's where South Medford will get things started. Good job there by the defense. Push Canby back all the way to their own 1-yard line. Where they punt. Boster with a nice 20-something yard return there, Chief, and Panthers start this drive in the red zone.
All 3 phases working well right now for South Medford. Offensively, they go down and score. Defensively, they hold them, and the special teams get the ball at midfield or at the 40 and turn it into a 20-yard punt return. So in the red zone on their second possession of the first half.
Fullback comes across in motion. They're going to run a little power look inside. Jamal Parnell bounces out to the right. Flag on the play.
In an area of offensive line holding there, but that white hat, from the backfield called it right away, so there's no doubt in his mind they had some offensive line holding or got their hands out, grabbing onto something there, so pushing them back a little bit, still in great field position, still first down. So
first down and 20 now.
Kind of looking for that Gio Rios kid. I'm not sure if right there talking to
62.
Yeah, Gio Rios right
right
there.
guard.
So I'm not sure if he got the penalty, but he was talking with him a little bit anyway.
Safeties over to Boster's side. Alvarez is out here by himself. Looks like man coverage. Tuttle's going to pull it down, try to get away, but Canby tracks him down there. Able to get the sack is Brent Patterson, 6 foot, 210 pound senior defensive lineman for Canby. And that'll put South in second in California here.
Yeah, that's a great job there by Patterson coming in all the way, and Tuttle not being able to shake him there. And, you know, one thing that Tuttle's been able to do so far as the South Medford Panthers, get the ball and get it out of his hands within 3 seconds there. Wasn't able to do so and takes a sack.
And there's a pass that hits Parnell right in the hands and is dropped. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 28.
See, and that's what happens, Boom, when you get these penalties, and on top of that, then you get a sack, and then, you know, things start going, the wheels start coming off, then you drop a pass that you're probably going to catch if you're not in that 3rd and 28 situation, or 2nd 28. So kind of takes out of your game planning, and penalties kind of get in the way, and now it's kind of like, you know, dial something up. You're still okay because you're on their side of the field.
Here's 2 backs in the backfield. 2 high safeties. Boster with a good release. As they tried to get a double move and get Austin down this near sideline. He comes up hobbled.
That was a nice pattern by Boston, a little double move there, and actually he was open, and the ball just thrown behind him a little bit by Tuttle, and just enough to give the Canby defender an opportunity to get there and knock it away. Hopefully Austin's okay, and come, like you say, a little hobble coming out of that. But great move there by Boster. Just the throw just off to the left a little bit. Otherwise, been close to the 1st down there.
We don't have enough guys on the punt team right now.
Always one of those guys, and it's usually on extra point or punt return. We're going to blame it on Bauer.
And there's a low snap, able to get it off. And the ball's fumbled there. And he's down in the end zone. I think, is that a safety?
That's going to be a safety. South's going to
That's a safety. Yes, it is. It's a safety. Fumbled the ball into the end zone, then recovered it in the end zone.
Another great job by South Special Teams, and 2 weeks in a row, Special Teams getting it done. We punt it down there, and Canby just makes first of all, catch it inside the 5. Not the smartest move. Go ahead and let that go into the end zone. Make that catch, and then be driven back 4 or 5 yards, and then the ball comes out. South right there. Right place, right time, and get the safety for South, and then we're going to get the ball back as well.
So South Medford takes a 9-0 lead here over Canby. And when you're inside the 10-yard line as a punt returner, you're not supposed to field the punt. And
so a big mistake.
Led is supposed to go into the end zone and doesn't do so, bounces off his hand. Then he's got to go recover it. By the time he recovers it in the end zone, there's Panthers waiting for him. And
well, you see a lot of guys in NFL and in college football these days, they'll go ahead and fair catch that inside the 10 now because the punters are so good. But, you know, at this level, get away from that, let it get in the end zone, and if they knock it down at the 5-yard line, so be it. But you're not going to get a safety and then have to kick it right back to them. And that's what Canby does by trying to return that inside the 10-yard line.
So a free kick here for Canby from their own 20. Looks like Canby will put it on the tee and let her fly that way. 26, Joseph Gartrell. Going to kick it off here and boot it deep. Panthers get under it there as they go wide, trying to go around the outside as 36, Mitchell Walker. Not much doing, but the Panthers will have good field position at their own 43-yard line. Get things started here. Canby's been on defense a long time here, Chief.
Yeah, I tell you, and that Mitch Walker kid, the first couple weeks, he scored a couple touchdowns and in the mix on the corner and the pylon, and last week scores a touchdown coming out of the backfield and coming out on punt returns, kickoff returns, so looked like they got a good one there.
So two-back shotgun formation here. There's a little lead zone play. That outside linebacker came in and
good job
made
there
the
by,
tackle.
good job by Canby, the defender, come up and force that play right there, come right at South, and they moved Coda. He was lined up tight, set, and got him out in the slot late, and I thought that was a good call. You could hear Singh just say, hey, get him out there, and unfortunately that linebacker came right in the slot, right where Coda just left, and came up and made that tackle.
Tuttle just throws it away.
He's got no receiver out there. Going to throw the flag for intentional grounding. He had no receiver. He's outside the tackle box.
High school, it doesn't matter.
I was just going to say a little different rule than you see on Sundays, and there's nobody there, and Tuttle throws it away to avoid the loss, ends up getting the flag.
Pattern was going to his right. Running backs went to the left, so you would think it would be fake left, some kind of either boot or naked right. Tuttle went the wrong way.
Little mix-up on that play, and nobody there. And again, like we talked last week and early on tonight, whoever executes the best and has the least penalties early on in the season going to win the ball game. And right now, a lot of flags flying, South dominating, but nevertheless had a few flags thrown that we hadn't seen last week at this time.
3rd and 22 here. Going to take a shot down the sideline, and Boster was running out there, wanted a flag, but not going to get it. And that's going to bring up 4th and 22. So South Medford's last two offensive possessions have not executed at a high level. And
kind of stepped
this
on
drive
own,
ends up ending up in a 3-and-out.
Kind of stepped on their own foot there the last two times, and own worst enemy in the last two possessions. And when you have 3rd and 22, in fact, I was surprised to see that one-on-one coverage out there with Boster. Safety got over there late. Actually, a little better throw. We picked that up.
And this punt could be blocked, but able to get it off. And that takes a Panther bounce forward down to the 30, inside the 30, and it'll be down there at about the 28-yard line. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back. Canby on offense.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
And we're back here live. And there's a snap up over quarterback Andrew Peters' head. He really has nowhere to go, and that horn's going to mean it's the end of the first period. South Medford gets another minus for their defense, minus yards on a bad snap by Canby. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, second quarter action coming your way.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
What is a role model? A person looked to by others as an example to be imitated. What is sportsmanship? Fair and generous behavior or treatment of others, especially in a sports contest. This new school year, we want children to enjoy their experience in organized athletics. Let's pledge to make lifelong positive memories for our youth and know your role.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
And we're back live here. South Medford has a 9-0 lead. Peters back to pass. There's a hitch to the top of your screen that picks up about 4 yards. Canby total yards in the first half, or in the first quarter, somewhere around -25.
Well, we haven't been able to see him do too much, Boom, just because they've been effective in the center snap and digging himself in a hole and get the safety in the last series and getting a bad snap over the top on this series. So
we'll bring up 3rd and 12 here. And that ball is not out as they call him down, but a sack there by the South Medford Panthers. That was number 66, Nick Varner. So he came through untouched on that little sprint out play of that 5-wide set. And that'll bring up a 4th down, and good thing the scoreboard operator is like a math guy, like 4th and 30.
Well,
my best guess.
That wasn't a snap over his head, but it was still a snap that he had trouble handling and, gave South defenders opportunity to provide that pressure and fly around, rally to the ball, and that's what they did.
And the snap is back. It's good. That's kind of off the side of his foot. Boster elects not to get it. James Dwayne just came over and KO'd a Canby player, and he's going to be flagged for that.
Just take a free shot there, Boom. I didn't see it.
Yeah, undisciplined at best. He picked him out, and crackback hit him, and he'll be lucky to stay in this game, Chief.
Yeah, that doesn't work, especially, if the officials see that on replay. Crackback, coming back and hitting and picking somebody out that's away from the ball especially, and you're going to get 15. And like you say, he could be out of the ball game.
I think they did. I think they ejected him. And James Dwayne has been ejected.
And that's, well, first of all, like you said, Boom, it was kind of an undisciplined maneuver on James Dwayne. The kid, seen him in 5 quarters now, and he's the real deal. He's a dude. He can really bring it, but that was uncalled for, and officials seen that, and he's not going to play the rest of the night.
No. So South Medford, which would have had the ball at midfield, now back at their own 36 after the Dwayne ejection. Tuttle in the gun. Hands off to Parnell. Big hole. Parnell squirts through there for about 6. So a good pickup on first down there for the South Medford offense.
And South trying to go on the ball, just stay up there on top of it. Good offensive line surge and moving those big defenders from Canby back, pick up 5 yards, 6 yards.
And here comes a little, is this a bear front look? Little bear look from Canby. Jamal Parnell with the cut up the middle. It looked like a little outside zone play, made a nice cut and a nice read. And able to pick up about 8 there for the first down for the Panthers, and they got something going.
And Canby, and like you said, that bear look, instead of that 4-man, they go with the 5-man front and kind of confused South there, but Jamal picking his way through their defenders there, and he cuts up in front of him, picks up the first down.
And there's a little inside power play. Parnell pushing forward, pushing the pile. The lineman still going, still on his feet. And able to pick up 13 there for the first down for the South Medford offense.
Now you tell me how a little guy like that got 5 or 6 200-pounders on top of him and doesn't go down. That's a lot of heart. You can tell that with Jamal Parnell. That's the kind of kid he is. Refused to go down, covering up with both hands. And great job there by O-line and Jamal Parnell.
Canby will call timeout. I want to talk about things as South Medford came out with a purpose to run the ball this drive. And in 3 plays have had about 33 yards rushing. So Parnell come out, and they get him vertical and able to get something going here from the running game, and maybe that's how they got to build, to get into the passing game. Start with the run game, run game, play action, run game, screen.
Well, especially the last 2 series, boom, they get them, get the big penalties and set them in 2nd and long, 3rd and long, and end up having to punt it away on both occasions. So, knowing Coach Singler the way I do and the way you do, you know that he's going to have a series where you're going to run the ball and try and impose his will anyway. And this is a perfect time to do it after those 2 bad possessions.
So Canby is back in their 4-4 look now defensively. And there's a little bob look out. And South Medford will pick up about 7 there. So good pickup on first down. We'll bring up 6 yards there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 6. Coach is begging for his guys to get out here and get set.
Good read there by Tuttle, just seeing he had numbers out there and throw that little bob out there and pick up 6 yards on the first down.
Now he's going to take a shot to Boster on the fade. Down the right sideline, Austin Boster runs underneath it. Touchdown, South Medford.
Anytime you get one-on-one coverage out there and they hurry up and go, he gets 6 yards on the bob, and then you get one-on-one coverage out there, and Boster just runs that 9 and runs that fade into the end zone. Perfect strike by Tuttle. Gets rid of it in a couple seconds. Boster coasts in the end zone. Touchdown, South.
Good protection. Great throw there by Torrin Tuttle. Great job by Austin Boster. When he gets his opportunity, they're not doubling. They want to play man coverage. See you later.
Gonna make you pay.
Extra point is up and good. And the Panthers take a 16-0 lead here in the second quarter. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more high school football action headed your way.
I was talking to Bill.
Yeah?
Bill and Sherry got a guy.
They do? How did they get a guy?
Everything happened online, including financing. And their guy even delivered their new car to their home.
Maybe we should get a guy.
I thought you might say that.
Honey, meet Kyle.
Find your guy during the Ram Power Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on lithiasuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 40 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland and Medford, and now Bill's Glass in Grants Pass.
That kickoff is up and out of the back of the end zone for another touchback. It's a weapon. So Canby offensively has had their struggles so far.
I think it's, starts with the basics. It starts with the fundamental of, and in this case, unfortunately, just getting the center snap for Canby and getting some positive plays, but it starts with the center snap, and they haven't been able to execute that tonight, Boom.
Here's a little inside power play.
And that time they did, that Ramos kid, and that was kid that...
Was that 14 or 44?
44, yeah.
Yeah, 44, Wyatt Ramos, 6'1", 210-pound running back for Canby. So good-sized kid, and they said, hey, we don't want to get behind the chains again. Let's give it to our running back downhill.
And now with James Dwayne out of the game, and if you can execute like that and just get after South a little bit.
Back to pass, out into the flat, Ramos. Nice play out there. Number 23, Liam Stedman. And that'll bring up third down and about 2 here for the Panthers.
That Stedman's a good-looking kid. I was seeing him in warm-ups, and he's a big old boy too. Him and that Isaac Dillon, they were like bookends, and coming up and making a hit there.
So trips to the top of the screen. Out of the pistol formation here. There's a little bit of a high snap, and the ball's kind of sidearmed in the middle, and Canby's got an opportunity here. At the 40, the 30, 20. Panthers got an angle, able to push him out.
Just a little crossing route there, and
36. I don't have a 36 here on my
got another
roster, Chief.
But Peters goes to, I want to check out, we got this number change roster. I don't know if that's it or not, but he looks to the left in the flat and on third and short and just comes back over the middle on a crossing route, and South defense breaks down and he gets a big gain.
Peters swings it out to the right. Jamal Parnell is there and nothing doing.
And how big's Parnell? That Ramos kid earlier said 6'1", 210, and Jamal about half that, I don't know. Comes up and puts a big lick on him, knocks the ball out, and Ramos didn't want any part of Parnell there.
Yeah. 2nd and 10 here. Trips to the top of your screen. Peters in the pistol. Snap is there. Running back isn't. Kind of a weird little wind back play as Ramos pushes forward. Makes something out of nothing. Able to pick up about 4 yards, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 6 situation from about the 8-yard line.
Yeah, and looked like he went the wrong way, and Peters was able to recover there and get the ball to him and still gets positive yardage.
So big play here, 3rd and 6. Canby sprinting out to the left. Nobody there. It throws up and out of the back of the end zone. Looked like a Panther defender was there to step in front. Yeah. And that'll bring up a big 4th down and 6 here.
Good job by Panther D. Actually, Peters had a little alley that could have tucked that ball and ran it in, it looked like, and elected to throw the ball. But good job by our strong safety, our safety back there, getting away and nowhere to go for Peters in the end zone.
So big play here, 4th and 6. And Canby will use their 2nd timeout. We're going to take one with them. We'll be right back after this quick word from our sponsors.
For weeks, the Southern Oregon Sports Commission has shown you examples of good sportsmanship and bad sportsmanship. Here's why. 75% of youth athletes quit sports by the age of 13 because they're not having fun. 75% of rookie referees also quit each year. Why? Well, it's because of the way they're treated by coaches and parents. We can do better. We must do better. Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
I'm Pat Cox with Sherm's Food Stores. The employees of Sherms are proud to be part of your community.
We have thousands of customers.
We're back here live. 4th and 6. There's a crossing route that goes to nobody, and the Panthers are able to hold on 4th down. So after they give up that long completion to the Canby Cougars offense, South Medford's defense bows their neck and gets the stop, and the Panthers will take over on downs.
Well, good job there. Recovered by the Panther D after giving up that big play, and after James Dwayne going out on the ejection, and a big part of the Panther D without question. And after giving up that big first down and being able to hold, that's saying something big for their defense there. Peters just got rid of the ball. Didn't look like he really had a shot at anybody.
Here with 6 minutes, 55 seconds left to be played in the second quarter, Isaac Dillon running physically, getting vertical, able to pick up about 4 there on first down. It'll bring up a 2nd and 6 here for the Panthers deep in their own territory.
Well, we said it earlier, all the magic starts at the offensive line, defensive line, and South being able to get a little offensive surge there and, getting positive yards on first down, it's a big deal. And, 3 or 4 yards on first down is big, and want to keep those chains moving. They had to do it that way.
So actually 2nd and 5, they gave him 5 yards there. So 2nd and 5 opens up your playbook if you're offensive coordinator and head coach Bill Singler. There's a low snap to Tuttle. He's back to pass and throwing to Walker, and a good throw as Tuttle threw him open. Looked like it was not a great route by Walker, but Tuttle did a nice job of throwing what I call throwing the receiver open, throwing it to where the defense isn't, and then Walker kind of broke his route off flat, able to make the catch for another Panther first down.
Good job by Tuttle there. Low snap at his foot, at his feet, and able to pick that ball up. Was on the ground, picked it up, and knew where his receiver going to be. Kept his poise. Good feet there and a strong arm.
There's a little inside run play. Dillon breaks free, breaks a tackle out to midfield, and tackled there after a gain of about 17 yards. Isaac Dillon on the power play.
Good call there, and they've been going zone, offensive inside, outside zone, offensive on running plays, and then all of a sudden we get a little trap up the middle and wide open spaces. Boom.
Here's a snap, same kind of look. Dillon off the right side across midfield and able to pick up 6 yards there on first down. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right, Chief?
That's right. One thing I know about Coach Singler, he's going to take what the defense gives him, and they're going to give it to him. He's going to keep running it.
Formation into the boundary here. Stay in that same formation as send 3 receivers into the boundary. Boster out here by himself again. Corner now kind of backs off with leverage. Little cat and mouse game. Snap to Tuttle. Dillon up inside. That forward lean pushes close to a first down. I'm going to be about a yard short.
They got, right now, they got what they want out here on top of the screen here, or on the bottom of the screen here with Bosser one-on-one, and short yardage, just going to get it and try to get that first down.
And able to get it there as they went with 3 down linemen, Canby did, and basically a base blocking look play there from the Panthers, but enough to move the chains here with 4 minutes, 30 seconds and counting left to be played in this first half. Panthers leading 16-0. Torrin Tuttle, 2 more touchdown passes. One to Mitchell Walker, another to Austin Boster. Panthers also scored on a safety sandwiched in between those 2 touchdown passes. Here's the run. Dillon, nice patience as he finds his way, makes a cut, and lowers his shoulder down to the 30-yard line, and the Panthers move the chains again.
And like we said last week, again, the O-line doing the job, but that Isaac Dillon's a load, and he's just bringing the load and low pad level, and, going to just keep bringing it. Now we got Jamal back in the game, so running back by committee is working well.
And Tuttle's going to take a shot here. Alvarez down the left sideline, and Tuttle took the shot there to Alvarez, just out of his outstretched hands, just a little too far.
Good call. They did get the safety over top, late, but he was there and just kind of overthrew him. But good look by Tuttle, and good feed again. He's in control of this offense right now, Boom.
2nd and 10 here. Tuttle back to pass. Pulls it down, looks to run. He's got room on the left side, 25-24, out of bounds. And Tuttle's able to pick up about 6 there, make it a manageable 3rd down. 3rd and 4 here from the left hash. Panthers at the Canby 24. South Medford going to call a timeout here with 3 minutes and 33 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Trying to add one more score on.
Well, I know they didn't like that, but Tuttle makes it a positive play. And what happened was the defender comes up and presses him and gets hands on him, takes him out of his route. And Tuttle had nowhere to go but to scramble or take the loss. And he was able to get out there and turn that into a positive gain.
Good job by him extending the play there. Obviously didn't get the look he would like. So does a nice job of using his feet, his athleticism, able to break, contain, and not have 3rd and 10 now, rather 3rd and 4. So really 2 downs to get 4 yards here. The Panthers have really been able to impose their will, so to say, on Canby here in this drive with running the football. See if Coach Singler wants to go back to that, or does Canby load the box up and give you the one-on-one matchup outside with a Boster, Mitchell Walker, Alvarez, even Coda. So see what Coach dials up here.
Yeah, they haven't come back to Coda over the middle, and good time right now to take a look at him,
Boster at the top of your screen out there with a guy on an island. Snap goes to Tuttle. He drops back, looks out in the flat. Parnell's wide open. Makes a move, leans forward, and that's going to be enough for a 1st down. Good read by Tuttle there as a linebacker came free. The hot read right there to the flat.
Good job
had a nice progression getting to that, Chief, but you'd like to maybe see it a little bit sooner. See that guy coming free. Your feet go there automatically. So getting there, new in this system still. So
and just taking, I was ISOing on Coda over the top, wide open over the middle too, but like probably his 3rd look.
Oh, and there's run through backers and
little breakdown there on the offensive side.
Run through backer. DJ talked about that a little bit coming into this ball game.
Tough for O-line early in the season to pick that up. The running back's got to do it. You got to single back and run through backer runs right into the running back, and pretty tough to make that call at the line of scrimmage this early in the season.
4 down lineman for Canby. Here trips to the bottom of your screen, doubles. And there is Coda over the middle. Makes a nice catch inside the 10-yard line. And a 1st down for the Panthers. Carson Coda able to get some space. A nice throw there by Torrin Tuttle.
I seen him wide 2 plays before that, Boom, and I seen him wide open and a big old target. And, he showed some good hands right there, and he's a big target. And that's going to be the guy that they're going to be able to go to, after they start doubling up on Boster. And you got to have that possession receiver in your back pocket, and I think he got one with Coda.
2 minutes, just under 2 minutes now and counting. 1:53. Here in the shotgun formation. Looks like those inside linebackers are coming. Got to play with their head up if that O-line. Tuttle pulls it, throws it out of the back of the end zone.
Good job there by the outside, the cornerback out there in the end zone on the top of the screen there, doing a great job. Tuttle had no choice but either take that loss or throw it out of the end zone. Good decision by Tuttle there.
2nd and 8 here. So 2nd and goal from the 8. And they're going to sprint right. There's a little comeback route by Alvarez, and he dives, and it's out of his, just misses his outstretched arms. Tuttle was moving right.
I love that play. I mean, it's all about the receiver coming back, and came back a little flat instead of coming back a little bit more to the ball there, and a little bit of zip on the ball there by Tuttle. But I love that route in the end zone. Nobody's going to get it but your offensive player, and unfortunately they're just a little bit out of Alvarez's reach, and had some sauce on that from Tuttle there.
So 3rd and goal from the 8, Tuttle back. Tries to fit one in Dakota. So 4th and goal now from the 8-yard line.
Hey, good opportunity to take a look at your field goal team, and the special team so far this season been great by South. So good opportunity here to knock one through the uprights.
Luke Allen on to kick.
Coach not going to be happy with that. We start every practice with kicking game and special teams and extra point and field goals and get movement there. You know, in this case, not much of a big deal here, and turns into 30-yarder or 25-yarder into 30-yarder. But
Luke Allen trying to put it home for the Panthers, make it a 19-0 lead. Snap back, and it's blocked. Canby's blocked it.
So Canby holds on defense and gets a blocked field goal. When I was just singing the praises of our special team and our field goal team, usually rock solid there, but had a run through, and it wasn't even close. He didn't get it airborne, and that thing was blocked.
Yeah, you run free as rule on the PAT or field goal team. You got to protect inside out. And to be able to have that kind of daylight and be able to get through there.
Definitely a breakdown there, and going to have something to work on in practice on Monday, that's for sure.
Peters back complete. Complete to, I don't know, because the roster doesn't have a number 7.
Yeah, they've had a number of roster changes on the Canby Cougars. I guess in their away jerseys. So
Peters in the shotgun will sprint to his left and throw out to the flat is incomplete, and there's a flag on the play.
You know, Peters all night, I don't know if it's our defense or he's just been a little quick to release the ball, and you wait for a half a second or one more count, let the receiver come open. He threw it early there, gets a call of a hold or defensive PI there, but Peters all night has been a little early on the release, and getting 15 there.
It's very penile pass interference in high school. 15-yard penalty on a ball that was thrown on a 2-yard out. That I don't know.
Yeah, it looked like I guess they don't have the defense. They don't have the holding. They just have a PI or.
Here's an empty set. Snap back. Peters lofts it over his head and making the play there and staying on his feet. On his feet inside the 20. First down, Canby inside the 20 with 51 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Canby hustles to the line.
And that seems to be Peter's comfort zone right there is, get the ball out early and hit somebody underneath or in that zone area. It's coming free. Now
and there's a bad snap. Ball's on the ground. Sticks with it. Now somebody wide. Oh! The safety comes in and
wow, great play by Peters.
A lot happening there.
Great play by him to recover from he's looking at the sidelines when they center snap it. He's able to recover it and have a guy wide open and overthrows him.
39 seconds left here in the second quarter. South Medford has a 16-0 lead. 2nd and 10. Peters back, throws the hitch, and it's complete. And the clock will run. The clock is running. 28, 26, 25, 24. Under 20 seconds now. Empty set, 3rd and 5. Peters rolling to his left, throwing deep, has a man out there, and it is caught. Touchdown, Canby. Less than 20 seconds left in the half.
Well, gets him right back in his football game, Boom, and it's just a combination route out there. You go, 2 receivers set on the outside, and one goes inside, one goes outside, a little post corner move, and Peters doing a great job there. A great throw in the corner of the end zone gets Canby on the scoreboard. Just when I'm being very, very critical of him, and he, if he holds on that ball just a little bit longer, he did there, and makes that good throw, and the receiver comes open, and
Canby will just try to kick the extra point, but there's a false start by Canby. So they'll move it back 5 yards and retry. I thought we might see a 2-point conversion attempt here. But Canby scores a touchdown here in the last possession in this first half, and we'll have the kickoff to start the second half. Kind of similar to Centennial last week. When they scored on the last possession, the final play, and then got the kickoff to start the second half. So big momentum swing here. Looked like South was going to go up at worst 19-0. Now it's 16-6, and with the extra point up and no good, it's now 16-6. So like at least a 10-point swing, if not a 14-point swing here in the last couple of minutes. And there's 12 seconds left here in the second quarter, so.
Well, I'm with you on that one, Boom. When it's 16-7 and it's kind of been a crazy game, missed field goal, could have been 19-0, go down and score, maybe go for 2 there, and then on top of it get the penalty and don't get the extra point. Puts a little more salt in the wound for Canby. We're have an opportunity to go for 2 there and cut it into one possession game, but now it's at least a 2-possession game, and South salvages a little bit out of that by Canby missing that extra point. But you can see a little marked difference in the defense without James DeWayne, at least over the middle there, where they're kind of running free, receivers running free, and Canby able to get some big first downs there where maybe not going to happen if you got James DeWayne in there and making that big hit over the middle.
So let's see if they kick it off deep here to Boster. And there's kind of a squib kick that angles to the sideline and
probably going out of
goes
bounds.
Out of bounds. So that will bring the ball out to the 35-yard line. Isaac Dillon runs right, runs out of room, and that should just about do it here for the first half. So South Medford jumped out to a 16-0 lead, and looks like they were going to add on to it. Canby came back and scored a touchdown in the final minute to make it 16-6, where we stand now here at the half. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, interview with the new superintendent, Dr. Brett Champion, and his thoughts about coming to the Medford School District. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick word.
I was talking to Bill.
Yeah?
Bill and Sherry got a guy.
They do? How did they get a guy?
Everything happened online, including financing. And their guy even delivered their new car to their home.
Maybe we should get a guy.
I thought you might say that.
Honey, meet Kyle.
Find your guy during the Ram Power Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on lithiasuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 40 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland and Medford, and now Bill's Glass in Grants Pass.
Here's Dr. Champion's interview.
I was talking to Bill.
Hello and welcome back. Having some audio problems with some of our spots. We'll see if we can get Dr. Champion. And here we go.
How have you found Medford and how's the transition been?
The whole Medford community has been incredibly welcoming and supportive, and I've loved to see how this entire community rallies around our schools. I mean, it's just such good things happening for kids all over this community. It's good stuff.
What did you see about the district that presented opportunities you're interested in, challenges maybe that you'll face here in Medford?
Yeah, a lot of great things already happening for students here in this school district. I mean, some of the work around pathways is really incredible, and opportunities for kids to get involved early on to see, am I interested in a particular field or not, and learning that is really incredible here in the district. Yep. And then we have a great board of directors who is very interested in how do we ensure that our students are ready for whatever their next step is? And we talk about having every option open for them. And so that's important too, to have a board that understands that it's got to be always about the students. And then I've gotten to know a lot of the staff here in the district, and whether they're in the classroom or coaching, or they're at central office, or frankly in cafeterias or driving a bus. These are folks who are focused on the students, and so having that opportunity to work with these adults who are so interested in ensuring that our students are successful is just a joy. And so it has been part of my very fortunate career to be able to work in districts where that's been the case, and that's certainly the case here too. And so I was very interested in doing that in a little bit different locale here in Southern Oregon, which has been a joy as well.
Excellent. Heard great things about your visits to Kids Unlimited and Logos to charter schools.
Sure.
School is a little different as we go forward. Meeting the needs of kids, so that's a neat opportunity within the district, a new opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. So this idea of of options for kids is something that is very exciting to me. We know that as adults, we like having options whenever we make choices about a variety of things, and the same should be true for our parents and for our students as well. Within a system, having opportunities for students to explore a variety of things, whether, to your point, whether it is in a different environment, a particular different school, or whether it is within our traditional schools, having options for kids is always a good thing. And frankly, it leads to a more quality education because then the student's able to get in and experiment with some things. And it's not just finding things they love. That's exciting, of course. Yep. But equally exciting is when kids get into something and realize, I hate this. You know, I mean, how much better to discover that when you're 16?
They call that math. Right?
No. How much better to discover that you think you want to be a vet, and instead of figuring out at 26 after you've invested in all the schooling that I don't really like this, how much better when you're 16 to say, this is gross, I don't want to deal with this. I mean, no offense to vet folks, I appreciate those guys, but again, we want to make sure that there are options for kids in a variety of places, not just high school either. Yeah. One of the things we talk about, I love the staff here in the Medford School District, talking to some elementary teachers recently, this idea of making sure that students are building relationships with each other in our classrooms is so important because we're a relationship business. Yeah. I mean, that's what we're all about. And so part of our work with social emotional learning and ensuring that our kids are knowing how to get along with each other, and part of that is in this whole idea of choice.
Hello and welcome back. We're good. Halftime here, Spiegelberg Stadium. Boomer Marshall on the call alongside the Chief Dan Marshall, Caleb Franklin on the video. Panthers got things started when Mitchell Walker had about an 18-yard grab in the first quarter on a touchdown pass from Torrin Tuttle. See if I can bring you these highlights while I'm giving them to you, huh? Here's a look at that touchdown. Early in the game, the sunshine's still out. So you can see they're doubling Boster at the bottom of the screen. Panthers sprint away from that. A little comeback route and a little corner route behind it. Tuttle threads the needle in there to Mitchell Walker to get things started for the Panthers.
Good job there by Tuttle, Boom. And said early, a little comeback route and then corner over the top. And that's a great throw, sprinting to his left and coming back and hitting Walker on the pylon in the end zone.
See what we got here. Oh, here's a look at the safety. So Panthers' second score, the punt. Oh, I got to cut it over to the screen. Sorry. So if you wonder how the Panthers had 16, they do have a safety sandwiched in between two touchdowns, and here it was. The punt as it sails back inside the 10-yard line. The fumble there. He recovers it in his own end zone and is brought down for the safety. So the Panthers would take a 9-0 lead on that play right there.
A little ill-advised punt return inside the 10-yard line. Should let it go in the end zone instead. Tries to run it out, fumbles the ball, and results in a safety and a great field position for South after the 2 points.
And here's a look, I believe, at the last touchdown. Get up on the ball. Boster will be at the top of your screen. And there's no safety help here this time, as that safety at the top of your screen has walked down into the box at this point, so he can't be help on the coverage. Coverage is playing a bell technique, doesn't matter. Oh, dang it, I'm not even showing you guys that.
And that's like taking candy from a baby right there, running that 9 route in Boster one-on-one coverage, and Tuttle setting his feet, throwing it up there, catches it in stride, and go touchdown. And
here's the look here, the safety, 5 yards away from the line of scrimmage, so you can't get over the top of it. Corner's playing up. I don't care if you bill or not. Austin Boster's going to run right by you. And a perfect throw there by Torrin Tuttle to Boster for the touchdown. The Panthers would take a 16-0 lead.
All South at this point, 16-0. Looked like they're going up 23-0 or at least 19-0, and not able to turn that possession into points, getting a blocked field goal, boom, and then to their credit, Canby coming down after having a rough first half offensively, coming down and scoring at the end of the half.
Remember, this Canby team was down 20-0 last week against Lincoln. Came back, got it to within one score, ended up losing 26-22. So a lot of resiliency with this bunch, and to think this ball game's over is
it's a little
far-fetched.
premature. Yeah, a little premature, and like I said, they're at least last week their defensive leader James Dwayne getting ejected in the first quarter there on that crackback block, and unsportsmanlike, and not only unsportsmanlike, an ejection like kind of a undisciplined move on his part there. Gets him out of the ball game, which is a big part of Panther defense, at least from what we've seen last night and early in this ball game here tonight.
Unfortunately, when you're a senior, you'd hate to miss a game. You don't know how many more you have, but I bet he'll think twice about doing something like that the next time. Because his team needs him right now. And he's an all-conference kind of player, all-state kind of player.
Yeah, he definitely makes a difference in there. There's no question he stands out, at least from the 5 quarters I've watched him play. They're a different defensive team when he's in there. And so glad it happened early in the season, like you say, so that he had learned from that. And
the question is, though, is he ejected for this week, and that mean he has to sit on next week too? Because that would, that's...
Yeah, that'd be...
You're talking 20% of the season missing with an ejection like that. So you just got to chalk it up to a learning experience, I guess. But knowing the kind of motor that James has and that he plays with, and the emotion and the excitement, that's going to be a tough one for him to swallow. So hopefully Bill will rally the troops around him. But that's enough about that. Torrin Tuttle, though, thus far, 2 more touchdown passes to add on to his total of 4 last week, so 6. And for the season, no interceptions. He cleaned up a lot of the ball handling miscues that he had in the run game last week, but still, I would say he wasn't extremely sharp in that first half. And that's, coming from a coach's point of view. Used to coach quarterbacks here, coached quarterbacks for 11 years, played the position. Had a couple missed assignments, let's call it, where he's rolling the wrong way, and that happens. It's his second game in this system. It's his first home game, so there's a lot of emotion playing in a place like Spiegelberg Stadium, and it's tough to be able to remove all that and just have a clear head and play, because you're so excited to be here. You're excited to play. This is like the mecca of high school football. So it's tough to be able to just kind of take a deep breath, relax yourself, calm yourself. None of the other stuff matters. Just go do your job. And, the teams that Bills had that was the best, that was the guys were able to compartmentalize that and go out and just get their job done. And if everybody starts doing that collectively, it ends up being a good product on the field.
Yeah, he looks like the real deal. He's definitely got he's poised, he's athletic, he's got a good arm. He can throw the deep ball, and he can sprint out and throw the ball on the run. But Bill's got a lot of stuff, and he's got a lot of sets, and he's got Rick and Ricky and Lou and Lefty and Righty, and a lot of different formations that a kid coming in from North Valley, even though he's been working with them all summer, it's going to take him a while. So sometimes when you see him going left and running back going right, I think that's probably part of it, Boom, just that there's so much that he's still trying to absorb. And so when he misses an assignment, I think it's more the formation and the system versus his ability to stay under control and be poised. So it's step by step, like Coach said in the paper, and it's a work in progress. And Torrin Tuttle's a big piece of the puzzle, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, he's done a great job. Don't get me wrong. He hasn't turned the ball over 6 touchdowns to 0 interception ratio is huge. He's completing passes at a high percentage. He just needs to continue to get better, and those mistakes need to go away. And I bet you he'd be the first to tell you that. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Panthers coming out of the tunnel here in the second half, and we'll have some second half football coming for you. Don't go anywhere.
Circle K is your on-the-go tailgate headquarters. Whether it's a home game or a road game, when you need a big play, call on My Circle K. From their always fresh premium brewed coffee, ice-cold fountain drinks and sodas, fresh made-for-travel deli items. When it comes to special teams, nothing is more special than My Circle K's Kickback Reward Program. Rewards every purchase, every time. Find them, follow them, throw a tailgate party with them. MyCircleK.com.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
It's really good. Look how big they are.
Hello, welcome back here. Just taking a look at some score updates. Cascade Christian, their lone regular season loss last year was Klamath Union, and this year, right now in the second quarter, up 28-21 at KU. It's crazy to see KU with a turf field after that grass field they used to have to play on. North Medford, Crater up 35-7 at half over Willamette. St. Mary's is up 41-0 at half over Lost River. North Medford up 27-6 at halftime over Jefferson. Phoenix up 21-0 over Newport. And Grants Pass was up over Summit 12-0 at halftime. So things are about to get going here in the second half. These teams have made their way both back out onto the field. About a minute and a half until we kick things off here. My mom's up in the box saying hello. She brought us a hot dog at halftime.
Yeah, thanks, Shireen. Appreciate that. A little less mustard next time. Got it all over my new South Medford shirt right now.
Bill came up to the box. He sits right next to us and goes, "Oh, Shireen, hey, how you doing?" Coach Singler.
He's got to get back to work here, Shireen.
Yeah. Next time, put some ketchup on that hot dog.
Relish.
Yeah. Everybody at home's going, poor Shireen.
Thank you.
Have to deal with those two. No, she's always listening at home, making sure our microphones are up high enough or not up high enough as we try to
do our dog
get it right. You know, we try to get it right.
Pony show and
yeah.
Yeah, what would we do without Shireen? I don't know, but thank you, Mom.
Yeah. Straw that stirs the drink.
There you go.
Anybody that has to take care of you deserves a medal.
Oh, yeah, she's had a bunch of trophies on the wall, that's for sure.
Here we go, going to the third quarter. The thing about deferring in the first half, you get the ball in the second half.
Yeah, now good job. They score at the end of the half and they get the kickoff back. So, you know, it works both ways. They kick off and we score right away. And, you know, actually I think South's kind of, if we had seen some stats, I think they've kind of dominated this ball game. And
yeah.
And Canby's kind of lucky to be in it. But like you said, they came back last week and
And there's a hole, and Canby's out past the 30, out to about the 34-yard line, and that's where things will get started here.
So good run back there by Canby and puts them in pretty good position, and we know they have it in them. They played tough last week in the second half, and so South's got to come out on the defensive side just like they did last week and bring it to Canby.
3 receivers here into the boundary to the bottom of your screen. Back out to the right. Tackle trying to get out in front. Able to make a couple blocks. Canby will have a first down here on the completion.
Peters to Ramos, and he's the guy that did it last week for him. Scored late in the ball game to put him ahead and give him the lead, and he's the stalwart on the defense side of the ball, and looks like he's the backbone of that offense as well. Peters got to get the ball to him, give him some more touches.
Quickly out to midfield. Here is Canby, and here's the handoff to Ramos, and he's got a little bit of a crease as they try to strip it out. Not able to get him on the ground. Ramos is going to pick up about 9 yards.
He's a load, that guy, and they get some offensive line surge there, and nothing, pretty about it. Just give it to him straight up the middle and get after him. And if I had him in my backfield, that's exactly what I would do with him. I'd just keep pounding him and pounding him and pounding him and kind of loosen up that defensive line for the South Medford Panthers.
Ramos, 6'1", 210 pounds. He's not a boy running the football around back there. He's a man. And South Medford, 2 plays in here in the second half, will take a timeout. Head coach Chris Parnell trying to come and talk to these guys. And, man, the absence of James Dwayne right now is noticeable, to say the least. Time for Justin Josephson and Chucky Campbell and Jamal Parnell. These guys will step up. And here's a little bunch set. Motion to the top of your screen. And we got flags. We got laundry.
Yeah, some illegal movement there, illegal procedure there by Canby. But, again, it's like Coach Singler, when he's on the offensive side of the ball, going to take what the defense gives him. And right now, if you're Canby and if I'm Canby, I'm saying, well, I think if we have number 44, we're going to give that ball to him and see if we can exploit that defensive line of South and kind of pound at him for a little bit and see what happens.
And there's a good play, good penetration there by that South Medford defense. Justin Josephson. JJ on the penetration there, as he's able to slant in front of that right tackle's face and slanted right across his face, able to make the play, tackle for loss, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 8 here. Key situation, key play right here. There's a bunch formation, and they're going to sprint left, and that throw is going to be up and over the head of the outstretched receiver's arms. So a good job by that South Medford defense, and that'll bring up a 4th and 8.
Good job there. Good timeout by Coach Parnell, obviously. And then Justin Josephson coming up and making a big play there on 3rd down or on 2nd down. And then Peters, again, kind of getting rid of that ball a little quick and not knowing exactly what he wanted to do with the ball and sails it far over the receiver's head.
There's a low snap. Able to get the ball off. Boster underneath it. Makes the play, burst out to the 30. Still on his feet. He pops out there to the 50, the 40, 30, 20, 10. There's a flag down back at the 38-yard line.
And I was going to say, right from the get-go, the defender for Canby was zeroing in on Boster, and the first guy at him blocked in the back by South Medford, and that's going to come back. It's going to be an illegal block in the back.
Wow. Boster is now hobbled down that far sideline, and
yeah, it looks like he might have a calf or hopefully, just cramping up or something. But he came out of that early in the first quarter on that double move route that didn't come up with the football, hobbled out of that little scrum, and then he looked pretty good on that return. But after you sprint it out there and you hobble back, and especially when there's laundry on the field, you got to bring it all the way back. Make anybody hobble, Boom.
yeah, unfortunately, it all goes for naught.
Yeah, actually, I seen that block in the back from the get-go up here.
They're still talking about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're talking about.
Looks like there's 2 flags down, one at the 22 and one at the Panther 38.
Might be a block in the back on us, and then the one at the 38 might be on them. So trying to figure out the mess on that.
So there's penalties offset, and they're going to replay the down. So Boster might get another chance as he goes back to return this punt.
A guy like Boster, and you got a guy like Boster, and I know it's high school football, but there's a lot of room towards us here in the top of the screen here. Boom, kick the ball to the left and keep it away from him. Otherwise, you're gonna break another one.
Well, and the quarterback's the personal protector here. High snap. Parnell goes in and checks on him. That punt is angled to the sideline and is up into the band.
So he had the same thought as I did, only failed to execute and only pick up about 15 yards in that punt. So,
if that, I think it ended up being about a 12-yard punt. They punted it from the 47, right, to the 30 or 48 to the 36.
Yeah. So end result.
It's not a touchdown, though. But South Medford, good job defensively. And I'll tell you what turned that whole drive. 2nd and 1. South calls a timeout. Canby comes out, gets a false start. They get back behind schedule, behind the chains. They have to throw the ball, and it doesn't work.
Great job there by forced defender coming up. 13 for Canby coming up and forcing that play and knocking South back for a loss there. And Isaac Dillon taking loss there.
Yeah, it looked like a little bust as far as right tackle, right tight end. Like the right tackle almost stopped.
Looked like they may have changed the play at the line of scrimmage here. I'm not sure. O-line didn't pick up that call.
Man coverage here. Tuttle now keeps around the right side. Tries to cut it back. And there's another flag on the field. And here's another holding penalty on the Panthers.
Wow, I didn't think that play was live long enough to get a holding call, but I guess it was. He had a little play action there and sprint to his right.
Well, to have a holding foul called on an outside receiver on a play like that, it's simple as this. If he just outside releases, gets the DB to turn his back and continue to cover him,
you don't even have to block.
You don't have to block. So I don't understand why we're down there trying to chicken fight with the DB on the outside.
Just run him off. And
now they got man coverage down here on Boster. They're going to sprint away from it. Alvarez on the comeback is wide open. Tuttle didn't pull the trigger there.
And actually, Canby showing blitz on the left side there, and we run away from it and had Alvarez on a hitch or comeback and doesn't pull the trigger like you say, Boom, and elects to keep it. And
so it's starting to get to the point now, like I talked about, that's a missed assignment. With
Again,
Alvarez is wide open out there on the comeback route, but our eyes are other places. And you get back to reading your corner like you're supposed to on that play. That corner is deep. It's the same play we threw the touchdown on. Corner is deep. He's taking that away. Your eyes should go right to that. So here comes the back out of the backfield. Tuttle sits on his back foot. Isaac Dillon down the left sideline, and that one falls incomplete. Good idea there by the Panthers, but to no avail. And South Medford will have to punt.
And again, like we said, all starts with the running game and being able to, get a loss on first down for 5 yards, then get a holding call, then don't execute on the sprint left, and next thing you know, you got to, throw thunder and lightning out there to the running back out of the backfield, and now you got to punt the ball. So again, it's early in the season, non-league schedule, but not a very good job there by South offense.
Panthers might get one blocked here as that guy comes free every time. There's one hop right into his arms. Got some room to make a play. Cuts it back. Looking for daylight. And Canby has the ball out near midfield.
And unlike last week, Boom, this third quarter is kind of started off slow for South compared to last week, and kind of got themselves in a little dogfight here, and depending on if Canby can do anything with great field position here, get right back in the ball game.
Little helter-skelter. They're 5 wide for Canby. Here's the snap to Peters. Man coming free right down the middle. Got a guy wide open.
Wide open up the seam. I seen that as soon as he snapped the ball, and we didn't, had missed broken coverage there. Looked like from South, and he was going uncovered, wide open in the end zone. And 24 Canby receiver didn't know how wide open he was. Otherwise, he'd probably settle under that instead of trying high point it and catch with 2 hands. He'll just run underneath that, but. Lucky break there for South, and Canby unable to execute. Wide open receiver up the seam. Would have been 6.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 10. There's a little inside handoff. And they get around the outside, and that's going to be enough for the first down. Number 3, Caden McMullen, able to pick up enough there for the first down, and Canby's got something going into Panther territory.
Kind of a little different look running-wise there for Canby. Ramos out of the game, and give it to the little guy, and got big yardage.
Back to McMullen. McMullen makes a cut, gets vertical, and Caden McMullen has about 9 more.
A little different running style there, a little shiftier, a little quicker, and good offensive line surge there, and kind of pushing, getting South back on their heels there, and McMullen making it look easy there last 2 carries.
That'll bring up 2nd and about 1 here for the Canby Cougars. They try to get something going here in Panther territory, down 16-6. And the snap back to Peters. He's going right back down the middle of the field and nobody home.
And again, all night, Peters is kind of getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker than he needs to. And actually the receiver's not coming free there, and double covered on the outside. Nobody open on the inside, but Peters maybe tap that one more time and take a look at it, but kind of lets it go early and nobody home.
He'll bring up a 3rd and 1 now. There's the inside handoff, and they're able to fit that play up, and they got 5 and still going. Inside the 20-yard line goes Canby.
And again,
First down, Canby.
Here's a situation when I do, what the defense is going to give you, and McMullen coming able to give these guys a little bit of energy and give the Cougars a little bit of energy and give them a different look and able to get a first down inside the red zone. And Canby got something cooking here in the third quarter, Boom.
1st and 10 at the 19. There's a ball that's rolled back. Peters moving left, kind of throws a duck up into the air, and a Canby receiver almost ran under it. Panther player is down. We'll have an official's timeout. At 67, junior Cameron Davis. We're going to take a timeout with you. We'll be right back after this quick word.
Dear Dad, I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports, I love my team, I just want to play, but not if you always lose your temper. Love, Katie.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
There's a time machine, not so far away, that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day, and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens, called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Hello, I'm Lennox Scott, Chairman and CEO of John O. Scott Real Estate. In 1931, my grandfather started John O. Scott Real Estate. I would like to take a moment to thank you for your trust in allowing us to serve your real estate needs. Helping you realize your home ownership dreams is why we do what we do. But one thing is clear, it takes place one client at a time, each individual buyer or seller, because at the end of the day, it comes down to you. The past few.
And we're back here. Cameron Davis gets carried off the field. Bring up 2nd and 10 here. Panthers, good penetration and nothing doing.
Panthers D rising to the occasion there after 3 carries by McMullen down. Takes him inside the red zone, and they said enough of that stuff to get some penetration and knock him for about a 3 or 4 yard loss there.
That'll bring up 3rd and 14 here. Peters drops back, throw in the middle, and nobody home. So that'll bring up a 4th and 14. Empty backfield here for Canby on 4th and 14. They look to go for it. And there's the snap. 3-man rush down the middle of the field. And nobody there. And Canby will turn it over on downs. South Medford bows their neck. They give. Get inside the red zone. And they'll take it back over on downs here.
Good job there by the Panther defense, to get penetration on that 3rd down play. Big loss and take him to a 4th and long, and Peters unable to connect there again with the 24 who had running free earlier in that possession, and come up empty. And now it's kind of time for South to settle in and get a drive of their own, go down and score here.
Got to sustain something here on offense if you're South Medford, and they come back to their little Disney screen. Boster makes a miss out in the open field, trying to separate out to the 45 into Canby territory. Austin Boster on a little screenplay that he scored on last week. This one here goes for about 32 yards, and the Panthers are quickly into Canby territory.
Great job there. Trademark of Coach Singler and South Medford Panther offenses. Be able to run those little jet screens and Disney screens and tunnel screens, and good time to do that after 4th and long, and little high possession play and burst of speed there by Bosser almost breaks it to the house.
Here's the snap. It's a low one. Tuttle tries to get set. He's trying to run out of there and tackled down from behind for the sack is number 13, Logan Doman. So the Panthers were play action trying to take a shot there.
And Doman, he's kind of been the guy for Canby, bringing pressure on Tuttle all night, and does it again here. And he gets a big sack after a big first down after the change of possession there. So good job there by by the Cougar defense.
Here it is, 2nd and 14. There was a penalty on the Panthers. Canby declined it. As the two inside linebackers show in both A-gaps, they kind of come out of it, and there's another flag down. And the pile is being pushed now.
Not sure what happened there, Boom. Looked like he dropped it. Looked like it was an incomplete pass. And
he definitely dropped it and then picked it back up off the ground.
They call it a completion and a fumble there, I guess. But from the box, it looked like it was incomplete.
Illegal formation on the Panthers. I think penalty declined. Nope.
It must have declined, and they're not moving it back. Yeah.
Penalty declined, so they moved the ball back to the original line of scrimmage. They did call it incomplete, so it's 3rd and 14. Good play off the edge there by the Canby defense, Canby outside linebacker.
Yeah, he don't make that play, and if he doesn't make that play, could go big. And
Kyle Sandner.
Not a bad call there by South. It looked like great there defensive play. Otherwise, that goes big, and you never know. But Canby able to hold South, and not a very good sequence there by Panther offense.
Well, Boster got him going with something and then couldn't get on track after that. And this is we got a new guy in at left tackle on this punt team, and they've almost blocked it off that left side about 3 times tonight. And here he comes again and almost got it again. So Canby takes over, and Chief, I'm going to just be brutally honest. This has been an ugly football game since the first quarter.
Yeah, we started off, since that first drive, actually, and then the second touchdown to Boster on that fly where he's wide open, running free on a man coverage out there. Other than that first possession and that play in particular, it's been a ugly football game for South, and fortunate Canby just hadn't played very well either.
And there's a false start.
And
the left guard moved early.
Unlike last week, in the first quarter, there wasn't a flag thrown in that game last week. And
yeah.
for first game of the season tonight. There's flags.
And you
Seems
just
like on every
wonder,
play.
coming off that 40-13 win over Centennial, where you play so well in the second half, if the
Start
you know
feeling
the
too good about
teenager
yourself.
kicks in you and say, hey, we've arrived. And
now
we jump off sides, and we have to probably have about 13 or 14 penalties, Chief.
Yeah, and the only saving grace right now for South, and not to be that critical, but I mean, it is early, but just Canby's not playing very well either.
It's getting late early, I'm telling you that.
Yeah.
Lots of penalties, lots of missed assignments, and
on both sides of the football too, offensively, defensively.
And here comes a ball on a wheel route, and it almost hits Mitchell Walker in the back of the head.
And Canby, other than a couple times tonight, has been unable to sustain any drive. Last possession they had 2 or 3 good, move the sticks 2 or 3 times, but unable to get much going in their passing game.
2nd and 10 here. Canby's ball at their own 16-yard line, and there's a sprint draw. Parnell's back there by himself. Ramos makes him miss. And he is a load. He gets out in the open field. Nice call there by the Canby staff on a little sprint draw.
That's a great call, especially, they haven't been able to dial up much. And the little running back, number 3, last possession.
Caden McMullen.
McMullen gave him a little energy and gave him a different look, and now we got Ramos back in there. That's a great call. Sprint to your right, come back with that little draw, and gives him big first down.
And here comes an all-out blitz by the Panthers. Somebody wide open down the middle. Ball's knocked out, and it's going to be incomplete. I believe that was number 9. Kaleem Garton. 5'6". Was that Kaleem?
Yeah. Good play by the little guy. And again, Canby running the scene on that offensive.
Only 5'6", 140 pounds. Oh, is that 4? 11. Sorry, that's 11.
Trying to get his number.
Caleb Barney, sorry. Caleb Barney.
Barney comes up, makes a big hit there, but their passing tree and run those seams, that's what Canby does pretty well.
2nd and 10, Ramos, nowhere to go as he's piled up at the line of scrimmage, and good play there by the defensive front. The front 3 from the Panthers canceling those run gaps and coming up, only giving Ramos, not able to let him get started with a head of steam, and that'll bring up a critical 3rd and 9 here.
And I think
we're quickly under 3 minutes left here in the third quarter, so like I said a little bit ago, Chief, it's getting late early. If South were able to get a stop here, maybe get the ball back and try to get something going offensively. There's a shotgun snap, and the ball on kind of a little out route, and makes a move to the outside. And a big play on 3rd and 9 there as the corner for the Panthers, Rajon Sherrar, lost his leverage. His outside arm free, you gotta be outside, push everything back in, loses leverage there, and Canby makes a nice throw, nice catch.
Good job there.
Get
by
outside
Peters,
and pick up a first down.
I've been saying all night he just wants to throw that ball a little early. That time he's right on time. The receiver makes a nice move, and the cornerback out there, like you say, lose a little leverage and pick up a big first down for the Cougars.
And here comes a blitz from the Panthers. And a missed tackle in the open field, and able to pick up about 3 there. As that was a good read there by Peters as he saw the blitz coming. It looks like they had a run play called, but instead of handing that ball off, threw it hot to his number 3 receiver. You count receivers from the outside in, 1, 2, 3, on a little hot route, bubble route, in which a safety at 12, 13 yards off is not going to be able to make a play. So a nice football play there by Canby. And it's into Panther territory at the 38-yard line here. 2nd and 7, under 2 minutes remaining. And there's a little handoff to Ramos, who makes a move. He gets upfield, and in comes a flag late in the play.
Late in the play in the area holding, which Ramos, again, big load coming downhill at you. And somebody came up and made a great hit on him. Couldn't get his number, but it looks like we got a hold on Canby anyway.
Holding Canby, and if you're South Medford, you kind of take a deep breath there because Ramos in the open field, Boster looks dangerous in the open field, but probably the next closest danger, the most dangerous man out there minus Boster is this Ramos guy. And the most dangerous definitely in a Canby jersey is Ramos. He reminds me of those running backs that I used to have to face way back in the day.
Back in the day,
Running back man. Canby had like 8 of them that rushed for 100 yards against us in one game. Figure that one out. And we only lost by 3.
That's the old wing tee, and maybe if I rethunk it, they got some athletes. They just haven't been able to get their vertical passing game or the passing game in gear so much. But they got some athletes, and Ramos definitely number one of those.
2nd and 14 here. Canby at the Panther 45. Here's a little inside handoff fake. Quarterback keeps, and the ball's out. That wasn't, and they're calling it incomplete.
That was a fumble. The ball
How
got
about
out of hand.
if he's throwing it, it's got to be intentional grounding, doesn't it?
That's just a bad call there, Boom. The ball was out. Fumble and scoop and score possibility, and they blow the whistle dead. And there's no replays in high school football, so that call's going to stand, but bad call.
That'll bring up a 3rd down and 14 situation here. I think that was Carson Cota coming off the outside.
That was a load, I tell you. He made a big hit.
3rd and 14, and the Panthers shoot themselves in the foot again. Another penalty.
Their nose guard.
And you're looking right down at the football. That's Nathan Roars. Sorry, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm not supposed to single out.
Brother.
Yeah.
Forgive you. Looks a lot like his little brother, his older brother. Sammy playing good, playing well all night. Just jumps there.
Yeah. Well, that's not Sammy. That's Nate.
Nate, I'm sorry.
Nathan.
Sammy gives Sammy the credit for that. And Nate the good rap for everything else, but gives Sammy the rap for the offsides.
And it might not make a difference tonight, Chief, but when you play the Sheldons of the world and the Grants Passes of the world,
Roseburg and
North,
North.
You play Liberty next week. You don't want to get ahead of yourself, but if you have double-digit penalties against teams like that, they're going to make you pay. It's out of character for this South Medford team, especially after coming off last week when they weren't hardly penalized at all. 3rd down and 9 here. Man in motion to the bottom of your screen. A little inside handoff to Ramos. He tries to shake a tackle free, and good fill there. 35. At 36, Mitchell Walker.
Walker kid's been all over the field again tonight, too, offensively.
No, he's out here at corner. That was 35. Jaggis Katanak. So this brings up a huge 4th down and 5. Watch the ball if you're the Panthers. 4 down linemen here for South Medford. Quarterback looks, got the slant in the middle, and it's complete. He makes a man miss. He's on his feet inside the 20 and down to about the 16-yard line for a Canby 1st down.
And again, Peters, that time when he's effective, takes that extra second, count, able to find somebody cutting over the middle there, and that's where they've been most effective and most successful tonight, is hitting that receiver underneath and does it here on a big 4th down and get him back in this ball game. Get a score here, and things change dramatically.
Under 15 seconds here left in the 3rd quarter, probably the last play of the 3rd quarter. Coda's in there hanging on for dear life as Peters and Ramos weren't on the same page. Peters is going to be able to pick up about 2 yards, and that play and that horn will send us to the 4th quarter. South Medford hanging on to a 16-6 lead here They've led through, had that lead at the end of the second quarter when Canby scored last. No one scored in the third quarter, a sloppy quarter by both teams. Canby now knocking on the doorstep at the 16-yard line, trying to make this a one-score game, Chief.
Yeah, and right there, another example of both teams kind of sloppy tonight. Neither team executing very well. Each team have had their moments, but after picking up that big first down, that underneath receiver, then Peters comes back, or Ramos, Peters, not sure which, went the wrong way and weren't on the same page and still able to get a couple yards, gain a couple yards, but again, just kind of unable to execute at big moments.
Well, in South Medford, really in their last game, really didn't have a whole lot of game pressure put on them in the second half. This is new territory for them, an inexperienced team without their leader on defense in James Dwayne. Offensively, a lot of new faces, haven't had much success here in the second half, or really since that last touchdown pass from Tuttle to Boster. Got to kind of find some identity right now, so your back's up against the wall a little bit, even though you have a 10-point lead. If Canby were to score here, it'd make things real interesting. And here's a little screen pass out to the left. Ramos in the open field makes you miss down to the 6-yard line. And Canby will be first and goal there.
Just a little flare out of the backfield, and Peters finds his guy, Ramos, and yards after the catch, takes it down inside the 10-yard line, almost inside the 5-yard line. At the 6, and again, though, we're facing a big third down.
Is it third? I think it's first and goal.
They get a first down there?
Yeah.
You're right. I'm sorry. Yeah. That
first
was
and
enough
goal
for the
at the
first
6.
down. First and goal at the 6.
I have a feeling that 44 is going to get it. He does there. He cuts up and touchdown, Canby.
Looked like a little zone blocking inside. He cuts off the backside of that right tackle, a big guy, and nobody home. Big hole, goes into the end zone untouched.
Wyatt, Ramos, and Canby has made this a one-score game. This is a big extra point. This will make it a 3-point game here if Canby could convert on the extra point. If they're unable to, then they'd have to score a touchdown. And it would open the door for the Panthers to kick a field goal and be able to go up 7. So, snap back, it's a good one. Hold down, kick is up, and it is through, and we have ourselves a 3-point ball game here. With 11 minutes and 34 seconds left here in the fourth quarter, Canby, once down 16-0, has cut that 16-0 lead to 16-13. And you can hear the sidelines down here. Canby excited. South, pretty quiet over there.
Kind of quieted the Panther crowd as well as the Panther bench right now, and got to right the ship here and kind of settle back in and do some of the things that you're doing early in this ball game. And that kind of starts with running the football and then hitting that short stuff and getting Tuttle back in rhythm. And in the third quarter, South had no rhythm at all on the offensive side, and a lot of that due to, the inability to execute, but also just penalty after penalty after penalty.
So Canby going to kick it off here. Austin Boster back deep to receive. Here comes the kick and angle to the right. Looks like it's going to go out of bounds, but the Panthers field it there. Nelson nowhere to go. And Canby's all fired up as they tackle him inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, bad decision there. The heat of the moment right there. Let that go out of bounds. You get the ball at the 35.
Yep.
Instead, we field it and
get it at the 16-yard line.
So not a good decision there by special teams. Been praising the special teams for the last couple of weeks. They're making a bad decision.
And that has something to do with the game pressure now that Canby has put on them. And what I mean by game pressure is for the first time, it's for real. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You either make a play, you don't. You could cost your team. So it's different playing loose and confident when you're up 20. There's a handoff on the inside and a stiff arm and another one. And in the open space
there's a kid
goes Zach Miller, the senior running back, 5'9", 160 pounds. And he brings another gear and dimension and another speed to that running back position for these Panthers. And
and same thing last week.
Good job by Coach Bauer getting him an opportunity to get him in there. And
he's got some burst. He's got some explosion there, and not much of a hole there. And then he just burst through there, used his athleticism, and almost broke that.
1st and 10 at 41-yard line. We're looking for the bob out here as Walker makes a man miss. He's out in the open field to the 40, 35, 30. Tries to cut it back down to about the 27-yard line. Good answer right there from the Panthers. Mitchell Walker from Torrin Tuttle for 40 yards down to the 26. And the Panthers, in 2 plays, look like a different ball team.
And that's what we just said. You need to right the ship, come out and do some things that you do well. And both those just happen to be, involve Miller and then Walker, who's been there the last couple of weeks, pretty steady out there, and give him the ball and good things happen.
And there goes Walker looking for a little crease as he's trying to push forward. And with that forward lean, gets down to about the 28-yard line. Looked like he had nothing there, but able to pick up 3.
And it's interesting, they used him last week in the 4th quarter, and, weren't sure if it was a second group or just a different look, and it's running back by Canby.
And here comes a player on late for South Medford. That'll be Isaac Dillon coming into the game. South Medford will take a timeout as it looked like they had a little miscommunication on the personnel group that was in the game. Isaac Dillon came on late and wanted to make sure they had the right personnel group in. Bill Singler elects to use the timeout. So with 9 minutes and 55 seconds left, South Medford clinging to a 16-13 lead. They have the ball now deep in Canby territory after Zach Miller got things going on a little inside power play. Able to make a man miss and then have a burst, get him out near midfield. And then after that, Torrin Tuttle hit Mitchell Walker on a little bubble play that had good blocking out in front. He was able to outrun his defender down this near sideline, down to about the 26-yard line. Then Walker carried for about 3. There wasn't much there, but good second effort, good forward lean to get those tough yards, Chief.
Yeah, and that's what they got to do right now is do what they do well. And I think that was a good timeout because Dillon came into the game late or came into that play late, and bad thing could have happened right there, not having your running back know what the play was. So
here's the snap. Boster on the slant and just a little bit high, just off the fingertips of Austin Boster, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 7 play here where probably got 2 downs to get 7 yards.
Yeah, a little play action there, trying to get Boster on that slant over the middle. And, I think now you come back with a little double move, fake him to the inside and get him out there on an island, and Boster will beat him out in the corner, or beat him to the corner, especially if they're going to go one-on-one with him. We got a little top help on Boster, a little press, man press.
And there's a little false start that they didn't end up calling. We're having real big miscommunications with our outside receiver at the top of the screen. He doesn't know if he's on the ball or off the ball.
And then, again, out of rhythm there by Tuttle. And I kind of like what the Canby D is doing right now. The Boster is getting up in his face a little bit, making him work, and then playing a guy over the top of him as well. So neutralize him and then make somebody else do something.
Well, if I'm Bill here, I'm probably going to give Austin a shot, whether it's a fade ball and let him go make a play. Clock's going to be running down here. The play clock's got to be
getting close. And
near to 15. Let's look at that back judge when he puts his hand up. Got to get set here if you're the Panthers.
Got to be getting close here, but I haven't seen the hand come up.
And now with this defensive alignment here, Canby's basically saying, Trey Alvarez, Mitchell Walker, you're going to have to beat us. We're not going to let Austin Boster beat us. And at some point, in order to win games throughout this year, they got to go win. You got to go win routes.
And we talked about that last week. You know, you got to be able to come to second and third receiver, and a back out of the backfield right now has been about the most effective second receiver they've had. I'd like to see maybe Coda get more in the mix, and something over the middle is a big old target, and that could happen. Back out of the backfield, but Alvarez on the outside of the opposite side of Boster right now. We haven't had too many receptions out there in the last 2 weeks.
Might be time for a screen. I don't know, though. 4th and 7. You'd like to be able to get to the sticks.
I'm with you, though, Boom. I think even if they double up on Boster and they're getting in his face, they don't really have anybody over the top right now of him.
Yeah. Here comes that safety. He's looking at him, but I still think he beats him on a fade here.
I do, too. I would just go give my chances. And
Boster inside release. Ball goes outside.
Had two receivers in the
same spot. Not good route distribution. As looked like one guy was on a fade and one guy was on a corner, and South Medford will turn it over on downs.
Yeah, that's where if we're going to run that corner, we want to run a comebacker on the outside and run that corner, into the end zone or, at least to the sticks. And we both end up in the same spot, and that's not going to work.
So here Canby now with the ball and an opportunity to go down and take the lead here. 9:37 left in the fourth quarter. There goes him down the middle and able to make the play.
Gets a big hit, but great job there by Peters, who number 24. He's missed him a couple times, had him wide open for
Matthew Souls makes the catch.
Makes a catch there, and he was wide open, missed a touchdown earlier in the third quarter, but he's been open up the seam all night. Big hit there by safety number 8.
Barney, 11.
Or 11, okay.
Ramos is really the guy that, if I'm Canby, I'm going to try to get the ball back to. Here's a little quick throw out to the right, and if you're South Medford, you wanted him to catch it because he's behind the line of scrimmage and diving for it. So pass goes is incomplete, and that gets Canby behind the sticks now, so 2nd and 10.
Yeah, if I'm Canby right here, I'm trying to run a little screen to Ramos or something,
I'm going right at South Medford. They got 5 guys in the box. I'm going to spread it out and run it right at them. And
something where he gets the touch, that's for sure.
Here comes Ramos downhill, and
good job there by Panther D.
Yeah, not very good job up front by the offensive line of Canby. Good job by the linebacker filling, but when you got 5 guys in the box, you go doubles on each side. South Medford's going to walk guys out. They're going to leave 2 high safeties. You got 5-on-5 in there. And when you have a guy like Ramos, you got 5 blocking 5, plus Ramos with the ball, it's like 6-on-5.
And Panthers able to hold their ground there, which was amazing.
Well, they got 2 linemen blocking 1 guy on both sides, so that's why. 3rd and 7 here, big play and a hitch. Way too much space, and that's going to be enough for the first down.
Good job to come up, but again, like you said, Boom, 3rd and 7, don't let them get to the sticks, and we do, and runs a little hitch route there, and Peters puts it on the numbers and moves the chains.
That'll bring up a 1st down and 10 at Canby's own 49-yard line. 8 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Peters drops back. There's the hitch and go, and they're going to take a shot down the right sideline. Alvarez does a good job of squeezing, and that pass is incomplete out of bounds, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
Good call there by Canby. Try to get him on the double move, but Alvarez having no part of it, and stays right there, and Peters throws it out of bounds. Doesn't give him a chance to make the play anyway, but good job there by the DB for South, Trey Alvarez.
There's a high snap that's tipped. Quarterback's going to run now. Good job there by
closing there, big time.
44, Carson Joe. Carson Joe, a sophomore, 5'8", 230 pounds.
That was a good close there by Joe, and haven't called his number much tonight, but right there, get a bad snap, and Peters got some athleticism, had some room, and Joe closed on him in a hurry.
Brings up a 3rd and 8 again here. Canby was able to convert on the last 3rd and 8. Here's a sprint left. Peters looking, he's open and unable to complete the pass. Was Peters looking for number 7. Don't have a number 7. How about that?
Those away jerseys are giving us fits for the Canby crew, but Peters again just kind of hurrying his throw, not good footwork, and that'll
bring up 4th down. And Peters, the personal protector here, so you got to be heads up if you're the Panthers. Snap goes back to the punter. Roars comes in like he's going to try to block it. That's a good punt, angled to the sideline and out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. You know, we thought South Medford would have the edge special teams-wise, but Canby, as this game has gone on, has slowly kind of started to edge out the Panthers as far as field position is concerned, the special teams game is concerned.
Yeah,
and now the Panthers are deep in their own territory at their own 10-yard line. Have a 3-point lead, though. 7 minutes and 15 seconds left.
Yeah,
they were able to, in 2 plays, to go bang, bang the last drive, get it down to the 20-yard line, but then it ended up kind of stalling out for them. See if they can get some sustained offense here in the 4th quarter, as their backs are kind of up against the wall here, deep in their own territory. 7 guys in the box for Canby. Here's a little zone right. Isaac Dillon trying to bounce it outside, but not much doing there as he's only able to pick up a yard.
Running a little more lateral than he is vertical there, and Canby defense rallying to the ball and making the hit and making the stop. But I was going to say earlier, Boone, the only difference in the ball game right now really is special teams mistake by Canby to cause the safety.
Right.
And the punt return, and then a missed extra point.
And the Panthers had an opportunity with a punt return of their own in which they had a penalty on themselves. So, you know, they've had opportunities there, but here's a 2nd down and 9. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left to play. Boster in motion. They're going to hand it off to Boster on the fly sweep. He tries to get to the outside and able to do so for about 7 yards. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 2. Trey Alvarez got away with a big-time hold there.
Some good blocking on the inside and get Boster on the outside.
Alvarez had a grab of his outside of his jersey. I mean, it was blatant as can be. I could see it from up here. Didn't get called. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 1 situation. Maybe 3rd and 2 here for the Panthers, as this would be a huge 1st down to kind of get some momentum, give them some breathing room here. Let's see what Canby does defensively here. They got 7 guys again in the box. Tough sledding in there. If you're Isaac Dillon, you got to get your pads low and get that 1st down. As it looked like the left guard was pulling and they were running it to the left.
And Canby's defense showing that 7-man front. I was going to say a bear front, but all of a sudden now you got 7 not only in the box but on the line.
It's a 6-1.
And they bring it all and leave it out there and force South to punt inside their red zone.
And the Panthers have had trouble on their punt team. Their left tackle that usually started on their punt team was James Dwayne. He got ejected in the 1st quarter. Canby has been really close to blocking about 3 or 4 of these punts. I believe the Panthers are almost either out of timeouts or only have 1 left.
Yeah, I think we called 2 early in the 3rd quarter.
Panthers do a better job of protecting there, and that punt is short in the middle of the field. It takes a bounce forward. Canby catches it there and downs it there at their own 46-yard line. Canby will get started here.
Like you said, Boone, it's getting late early. 5.5 minutes to go in the ball game. 5 minutes, 29 seconds. And Canby somehow stayed in the football game. And now they have a chance, possession to go ahead here with good field position late in the game.
Couple updates. Grants Pass is a 12-7 winner over Summit. North Medford was up a couple scores on the road at Jefferson. There's a high snap, handoff to Ramos. He's got some room. Panthers rally to the ball, tackle him just inside their own territory. Ramos picks up 5 there on first down. 5 minutes and 15 seconds and counting here at Spiegelberg Stadium. The South Medford Panthers clinging to a 3-point lead against the visiting Canby Cougars.
Was that Nate Roars on the tackle there?
Yeah.
He's all over the place. I like that kid. He's hung in there. He's jumped a few times, but he's a tough kid.
Snap to Peters. Peters goes the wrong way. Roars is back in the backfield. Peters fighting for yards, able to pick up about 1 there to the Panther 48. It'll bring up a critical 3rd down and 4 here.
Don't know how many times that we've seen Canby now, running back go one way, quarterback go the other, and not on the same page. And Jamal Parnell and Roars come up and make him pay for it.
So here's an empty backfield. Hard count. Peters drops back, throws out there in the flat, wide open.
Again, giving him way too much room out there in the corner. And
first down, Canby.
You're playing 7-8 yards off, and that's too much when it's 3rd and 5.
The Panther 41. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left here at Spiegelberg Stadium. Canby, first down and 10. So they got a drive going. Ramos in motion. He's leaning forward. That's a false start. And they see it. Ramos looks exhausted. So he's played probably every play of this game, offense and defense. That'll move the ball back to the Panther 46-yard line. First down and 15.
And you just got
3 minutes, 35 seconds left here. And counting. Snap back. Here's a little screen look. Tunnel screen. Panthers run past it instead of breaking down. And good job there by Canby. Catch and run for about 8 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd and 7. With 3 minutes and 15 seconds left and counting.
That's a little South Medford play that we, love to run throughout the years, and think you'd have that defended and see that right away, but goes against the grain, and we're lucky right there he didn't break that one.
Under 3 minutes left now. Clock is ticking. Peters in the shotgun. As he drops back, looks to the right, and it's taken away by Alvarez. Interception, South Medford. Trey Alvarez comes up with the big play. Hitch after hitch after hitch.
And
Trey Alvarez comes up, reads it, picks it, says, "Give me that. We're going the other way." Big turnover, South Medford.
He finally closes the gap a little bit. Not only that, he comes up and able to wrestle the ball away out of the receiver's hands, and just a great individual play there by Alvarez after being 3 or 4 times in a row taken to the shed. And getting the first down, it makes the adjustment and the interception.
16-13, 2 minutes, 48 seconds left. South Medford now with 2 backs in the game, missing a wide receiver. He's got to be on the ball. That's a legal procedure. Tuttle tries to get him lined up. 2 backs. Here's a handoff to Dillon, a little wind back, makes a man miss. Out in the open field, Isaac Dillon to the 40, and down there looks like it's going to be a face mask on top too, as the Panthers got something going here with 2 backs in the final minutes of the game.
Big play right there, and Dillon, we talk about the guys will load just like Ramos on the other side, and they didn't get him wrapped up and kept his legs going and Turns down inside the 40-yard line, and looks like we might have a face mask on top of it.
So with 2 minutes, 38 seconds left, the officials are chatting about it. I don't see how it could be anything but a face mask on the defense, and sure enough, personal foul, face mask, defense. That'll be 15 yards on the end of the run and an automatic first down. Our offensive guys need to quit worrying about telling the fans to be excited and worry about do their jobs for the last 2 minutes and 38 seconds.
Yeah, still a lot of time to go in the ball game, and now they're having trouble walking it off. So I don't get what happened there. They walked it off and they walked it back. So
Must have got a 15-yard penalty because the guys are taunting the other team here. 2:31 and the clock is running. If you're Torrin Tuttle, you don't need to snap it yet. He does there. Isaac Dillon bounces, stays on his feet, gets vertical for about 5. So that play ended with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. You shouldn't snap it for about, well, once he blows it in, you got 25 seconds. So take your time, Torrin.
Look at the clock. It's right
Take your time, Torrin. The back judge will put that hand up when 5 seconds goes. 1:58 and counting. No hand up yet. No hand up yet, and we snap it. Isaac Dillon getting vertical. Close to a first down now. 3rd and 1, and Canby will burn a timeout.
Clock management, something they haven't had to worry about here in the first 2 weeks of the season, and get an opportunity to work on it here a little bit, but especially that first down, snapped it way early at 2:30, and then that time a little early as well, but sure they'll talk about it right here with Canby's timeout. We get an opportunity to talk to our guys a little bit about clock management.
1 minute, 45 seconds left in regulation. The Panthers clinging to a 16-13 lead. A 3rd down and 1 situation here.
Well, heck of a job by Alvarez to give us the ball back, and then a couple great big runs there by Isaac Dillon. And the offensive line for South kind of having his way in the last 2 or 3 plays.
You got to have your head up here if you're an offensive lineman for the Panthers. You got to block back. No run-through situation. There's a block down, kick out. Dillon able to get the first down in a big one for the Panthers. And get him a fresh set of downs.
Huge play right there. That may do it. I don't know if we got 2 timeouts or 1 for Canby left. But
they don't have the timeouts left on the board at the moment.
They may be down.
Clock should be running. It is running. Wait till the back judge. Maybe even take the delay here. Your Coach Singler.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. There goes the hand. Now snap it. Take the knee. We can't just let him run through, guys. Timeout, Canby.
Just take a knee. Here, Coach Singler in the other box talking about just victory formation right now. You can take a knee, run the clock out. They don't have enough timeouts to stop it here. And with 1 minute and 2 seconds, you have 30 seconds between each play, Boom. So I think
40. You have 40 seconds. So
if
they have one more timeout, which I don't think they do, I think they're out. You take one knee, on second down, you take another knee on third down, and it's over.
Yeah.
You just got to take 30 seconds in between each. You get 40 seconds. You get the 15 seconds while they spot it, then you get 15 when they wind it, and that starts the 25-second play clock. Time management says you should get out of here
without having to run another play, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do here.
Get on the ball, Austin.
Looked like that was
got a base block there as the ball was knocked out after they. But I mean, the offensive line, all they got to do is aggressive pass block right now, where they just take care of the inside gap, get their hands out, and take care of their quarterback. That'll drive you crazy. Snap it, and it's over. And that will do it. It wasn't pretty.
No, it wasn't pretty, but
the Panthers get out of here alive with a win, 16-13, and
no score. No, Panthers don't score in the second half, right?
No.
16-6 at half, and
yeah,
one score in the second half by Canby, and Panthers kind of lucky to get out of here on this one, but a W's a W, and a victory or check the box. Home opener.
Much rather learn from a win than learn from a loss. Wasn't pretty, but I'd rather take a wasn't pretty win than a pretty loss any day. So
yeah, I've never seen a pretty loss, so I mean.
But I tell you what, it's something they can learn from. And it's probably going to serve them a lot better than if they came out here and won 40-0. You know, because you won the game, but I know how I feel inside, and I wasn't even playing. I know how they probably feel. I know how Bill feels, because I can hear him in the box next to us. You know, you're happy that you won, but it was UGLY, ugly.
You know, and they did a lot of things. They made a lot of mistakes and a lot of penalties and a lot of things they can learn from, but they get the W, and like you said, a lot easier getting the W and learning some lessons and vice versa. But, yeah, you know, if it's 40 or 30-point game and you make those mistakes, and probably one of the critical ones, you know, going back is, you know, the loss of James Wayne early in the game and kind of changes up your defensive mojo and play calling, because a lot rides on that kid, I'm pretty sure. You know, how he goes, their defense is going to go. And so they had to make that big adjustment early in the game. But a lot of things they can learn from tonight, and a lot of things they need to clean up. And I think this team is up to it, and I know the staff is, and it's all on film, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's one of those deals where kids got to come back in, and, you know, you got to win. A high school win, it's your home opener, and there's a lot of energy in here, and it's 16-0. You're looking around going, we're going to run these guys out of the gym, to where they have the ball with 2.5 minutes left to go win the game. So a lot changed in a little amount of time, and
had to get a huge play from Alvarez.
Trey Alvarez, big play. Defense gets the turnover when they need to. He just basically stole it from him on the hitch.
Yeah, otherwise
they probably go down and score, and this thing's over. And, you know, the only thing worse than winning this game is losing it. You know? So, you know, it's definitely a learning lesson for these kids and this staff. And this staff has been through this before, so they're going to get back in that film room Sunday morning and get to work. And these kids are going to get back in there, and they're going to work with their position coaches and their coordinators, and Bill's going to get these guys sharpened up, and coming to town next week is Liberty, one of the top 10 teams in this state. Kind of gave it to the Panthers last year up there, and they did. And they're going to come down here with a whole lot of swag and a whole lot of energy and try to do what they did last year to the South Medford group. And South Medford's got a long way to go if they want to compete with a program like that this year. And in years past, that would have been a great matchup. That from this group is still remain to be seen. Like you don't know, what team's going to show up because there's not a lot of, they're learning on the fly. They're learning on the job. They're not learning as backups or in the program for a couple of years. A lot of these guys, it's the first varsity experience they've ever had. So they're gonna have growing pains. But I guarantee you this: I'd much rather be 2-0 with the growing pains than 0-2 or 1-1.
Right, and I think this ugly win, gets those kids' attention too. The 40-13 game after the dogfight in the first half at Centennial, and they start feeling a little too comfortable maybe and still feeling a little good about themselves, maybe a little too good about themselves, and come out a little flat tonight and make a lot of mistakes, have a lot of penalties, and don't execute. And so now we got your attention, kids. You got the W. Now we got your attention. We got Liberty coming in the house. So could be a blessing in disguise, this type of win, Boom.
Really could. Head coach Bill Singler gets that home opener again. First home game of the year. He wins 2-0 so far this year. And with the kids they had coming back, returning, not a lot of experience. James Dwayne gets ejected tonight in the first quarter. Panthers kind of lost their mojo after that and just kind of hung on for dear life, and it didn't feel like they were playing to win in the second half. Felt like they were playing not to lose. So to escape from this game with a win is big time. And, like I said, got a real challenge next week coming in the form of Liberty, a top 10 school in this state. Good outfit. So South Medford's going to have their hands full. Probably their toughest challenge here in the preseason. That'll be here at Spiegelberg Stadium at 7 o'clock a week from tonight. So Friday night, September the 20th, South Medford here against Liberty. We'll be on here at 6:30 with our pregame show. For Caleb Franklin, alongside Dan Marshall, the Chief, I am Boomer Marshall saying good night and God bless from Spiegelberg Stadium. Thank you for joining us.
Circle K is your on-the-go tailgate headquarters. Whether it's a home game or a road game, when you need a big play, call on My Circle K. From their always fresh premium brewed coffee, ice-cold fountain drinks and sodas, fresh made-for-travel deli items. When it comes to special teams, nothing is more special than My Circle K's Kickback Reward Program. Rewards every purchase, every time. Find them, follow them, throw a tailgate party with them. MyCircleK.com.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Hey, Shawnee. Hey, Shawnee. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, guys.
See you, Todd.
See you. It was rough. Good win. I don't know about that, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
Tongue in cheek.
We were saying,
Yeah.
it's better to learn from a win than learn from a loss. And I think we got the kids' attention now.
Boy, talk about undisciplined.
How many penalties?
Probably about 15. I would say
3 or 4. Yeah. And the crazy part is, you guys didn't have like any penalties up there last week.
First half.
James Dwayne, like, what are you doing? You're 40 yards behind the play, and he like totally. I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I watched it multiple times.
Yeah.
He just unloaded
free
on
shot.
God.
Stupid. He's gonna cost himself. He's gonna be ejected next week too, right?
Yeah, and he's also somebody that lost probably about 4 games last year.
Like doing the same stuff?
No, like.
That's too bad.
It's stupid. You're a senior. You don't get these games again.
Oh yeah, he's supposed to be our leader or whatever. And he's too. I don't know if he's like drinking too many Red Bulls or what.
Yeah, I saw him before the game down there. He was just
like, holy cow.
Like, you need to relax.
Okay,
I
I love your intensity, but you know he's pushing guys after the play's over.
Yeah, he's doing this when he's standing up. Like on the whistle, that's just some discipline.
You know, when he comes out of the locker room, he's got to be shirt off.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about check
all
out
about
my
him.
abs. Well, dude, I'd rather check out your play.
Yeah. I don't get to see her play when you're standing on the sideline in jeans in the second half.
Well, you can see it change the whole defensive mojo. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And he's a good player.
Great player. Yeah.
So shit.
You know, at the high school.